Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto is blessed by Shinigami part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. In the outskirts of Kanehigakure, the village hidden in the leaves. Shiki Fujin, dead demon consuming seal. After saying their final goodbyes to their son, Minato completed the technique to finally seal the Kyuubi into Naruto. After the successful sealing, Minato allowed himself to be pulled into the Shinigami, Death God's stomach. What he did not expect was his wife getting pulled along as well. It was only Minato, Kushina, and Naruto who were inside the barrier. Those who were outside could not see what was happening. Sarutobi Hiruzen, however, knew that his successor performed the Kinjutsu, forbidden technique, to finally stop the nine-tailed demon fox from rampaging. Nobody from the outside knew what exactly happened to the 4 Hokage's wife. The doctors could only assume that she died from the stress of having the Kyuubi, Nine Tails, extracted from her just moments after giving birth. Inside Naruto's mindscape, his cries echoed throughout its vast and empty tunnels. A tall woman with orange hair wearing a kimono materialized and walked towards the crying infant. This woman happened to have 9 orange tails protruding from her back. The child almost immediately ceased its cries as the woman picked him up and felt her warmth. The Nine Tails jolted and assumed a protective stance as it sensed another presence inside the mindscape. A powerful entity, something that should not be there. Kurama, it called. The woman now known as Kurama was quiet for a moment before realization appeared on her face. Shinigami-sama? She inquired. Yes, it is I. The entity responded as it came closer, its face becoming visible. The Nine Tails could only gasp in surprise as the Shinigami bore her former host's entire appearance. Kushina, the nine-tailed woman, trailed off. Forgive me, I did not mean to do any of this. The Death God, or the now Death Goddess, raised a hand. Hush, now. It is all right. I knew that you were not yourself as you were under someone else's control. Tonight's events was caused by a single person, a man, who was supposed to have crossed the other world years ago. I will be preparing a special place for him in my realm. Those who mess around with great demons and forces like you tailed beasts do not go unpunished. Add in the fact that my family was among the victims of his work. Kurama nodded and offered her former host to carry the child. Naruto, upon sensing his biological mother's presence, seemed to squirm in delight, snuggling into her warm embrace. His breathing peaceful as sleep claimed him. Kushina shed some tears as she watched her son in her arms. Now that she was the Death Goddess, her powers allowed her to see her son's future. She did not like what she saw and realized that being the Kyuubi's container will not be easy for Naruto, compared to her time as its host. She was contemplative for some time before she kissed the babe's forehead and murmured words that were not spoken in the land of the living. The child's tiny body became covered by a gray transparent aura as her lips touched his skin. It lingered for a few moments, and then slowly dissipated. Kushina handed her son to the nine-tailed demoness before giving her parting words. Kurama. I bestowed upon my son a new dojutsu, eye technique, and abilities over darkness. Powers that he will awaken when he becomes 6 of age. As you may have noticed, I have altered your seal, thus allowing you free movement. There will be times where you may take over Naruto's body when he is in danger. I have seen the future and saw how Konoha and its residents will be treating him. I could not express the proper words for it, for they are absurd. Kushina's face had a look of disgust. Simply unimaginable. Take care of my son, will you? The Kyuubi nodded as the Shinigami's presence left the mindscape, gently rocking the babe as he stirred on his sleep. Sleep well, Naruto. For now, I will be your mother until you are ready to meet her. Kanehigakure. Sarutobi Hiruzen anxiously watched as the barrier slowly crumbled away. With several squads of ANBU beside him, they rushed to the spot where Minato and Kushina's bodies were. As he got closer, he saw the child, recalling that his parents wanted to name him Naruto. He was in a deep sleep snuggled between his parents' now cooling embrace. The Sandaime mourned tonight's losses as he picked up the newly orphaned babe. The boy had blonde spiky hair like his father did, Hiruzen noticed. He probably has blue eyes as him. He thought as the infant kept its eyes closed. Aside from the seal that was beginning to fade on the child's stomach, something worth noting about him were the 3 whisker-like marks on his cheeks. With a commanding tone but soft enough to not wake the child, the Sandaime Hokage faced his subordinates. The information regarding that masked man will remain a secret while we undergo investigation. Should word about him comes out, the village will most likely end up in civil strife. And that is something we could no afford to face right now. He finished gravely. Understood, Sandaime-sama, the ANB replied. Satisfied, Hiruzen nodded. In the meantime, proceed to the other sections of the village and do a sweep. Pull out bodies, put out fires. Do what you must. I will be meeting with the council, as I am sure they will be now demanding of. A few hours after what they would call the Kyuubi's defeat, the clan heads, among with the civilian representatives, the elders, and the Hokage's advisors gathered in a room untouched by the rampage. They were talking amongst themselves and were eyeing the small bundle on the Hokage's arms. I thank you all for coming on short notice. Hiruzen started. As we all know, the Kyuubi have attacked earlier this evening and destroyed a good portion of the village, killing thousands of people. Among them were the Yondaime Hokage and his wife. He paused as he took a glance at Naruto. The Yondaime's final wish was for this child to be seen as a hero who defeated the Kyuubi. The Yondaime used a seal. To be more specific, he used the Shiki Fujin to seal the nine-tailed demon inside this child. Naruto here is. Kill that thing. It only took one civilian representative to establish chaos inside the room. There was an uproar as a majority wanted the child dead while the others were screaming for silence, upset that they dared interrupt the Sandaime. It was at this point where Naruto woke up crying, having felt the killing intent directed towards him. The Kyuubi had to pull his consciousness into his mindscape in order to block sensing what was happening in the outside. Naruto ceased crying upon feeling Kurama's unhostile presence. Inbyu stood protectively around their aged leader, weapons out, as two foolish council members openly made an attempt to attack the boy. Hiruzen looked on with barely hidden contempt at their lifeless bodies before attempting to regain everyone's attention. Stand down. This is a formal meeting and as such, you must remember your positions and act with proper decorum. Get back to your seats. Inside Naruto, the Kyuubi was seething. Foolish old monkey. Why did you have to inform them about Naruto's Jinchuriki status? Kushina's was kept a secret. So why? Minato's last wish will be fulfilled had you worded your thoughts differently. Now Konoha will see the boy as nothing but my reincarnation. Having lived for hundreds of years, Kurama knew that humans were the most intelligent beings among the creations of Kami, God. But while they were clever, they were also the most selfish and narrow-minded, especially when they put their minds into something. Hokage-sama ignoring the two corpses being removed from the room, another brave civilian began. You must understand, that thing is a threat. He must be killed before he grows up and kills us all. Silence! Hiruzen snapped. This thing, as you call it, is just human like everyone else like in this room. Now, seeing as you are a civilian, I will make you understand. The Hokage continued in a condescending manner as he took out a scroll from one of his robe's inner pockets. This is a storage scroll. He then laid it on the table and formed a hand seal. There was a puff of smoke and when it cleared, there was now a kunai on top of it. The weapon was inside and while in there, the scroll was still a scroll. It is pretty simple. I hope everyone here understands that Naruto is not the Kyuubi but a person acting as the storage scroll. Unfortunately, while some understood, majority of them would still show their displeasure on the child. He will not be their hero. Naruto will be their scapegoat. The Hokage, unimpressed with their expressions, made a decision. This is a direct order from me. From now on, no one is to speak about the Kyuubi or anything related to it. You will not tell your children, nor your children's children. Anyone caught disobeying this command shall be punished. I do hope that you understand the severity of this case. The village hidden among the leaves was still recuperating as its inhabitants mourned the deceased. Konoha lost about 30,000 lives during that horrible night, with around 10,000 shinobi as casualties. Those who have retired had no choice but to re-enlist to the active forces due to their low numbers. The Hokage had to recall everyone sent on missions in order to guard the place in case of an invasion. In the Hokage Tower, Sarutobi Hiruzen was signing papers while Naruto slept in a crib beside him. During the past month, a total of 36 assassination attempts have already occurred and thwarted by the Hokage and the ANBU assigned to protect the boy. Majority of those who tried were under the influence. Somehow, news about Naruto's Jinchuriki status spread to the village like wildfire, despite his orders. Those responsible for the assassination attempts were dumped to the prison cells. The ones who were not drunk were executed. However, people have caught up and drank a bit of alcohol so they could reason they were drunk when investigated. Hiruzen could not simply order for their deaths now as it would cause civil unrest and attract enemy nations' attention. He understood their grief, but they were being unreasonable. He too lost loved ones during that night. Hating the boy would do nothing good to him as Naruto was simply a victim like them. As of now, Hiruzen was having trouble looking for a caretaker for the boy. Naruto was still an infant and required nourishment. Problem was, he could not find a willing wet nurse as they were either too afraid of him or they wanted him dead. There had been a willing volunteer to take care of him. A woman who gave birth to a child that very same night. The babe died due to exposure with the Kyuubi's potent chakra and killing intent. The woman happily accepted Naruto as her own child and took care of him, only to find out later that she was sick and dying, due to complications and stress when she gave birth. She died 3 weeks after. The breast milk supply she produced for Naruto was enough for 2 weeks. With her gone, the boy only had a week's worth of nourishment left. Hiruzen intended on informing Konoha of Naruto's parentage. But now, seeing that nearly everyone despised the boy and saw him as the fox's incarnate, his life would have been in greater danger if he did. How would he be able to protect him from potential assassins or kidnappers from other villagers when Konoha also wanted him dead? If he announced that Naruto was Minato's son, Iwagakure would no doubt do everything to kill the boy, while Kyuubi is likely to try to kidnap him. After mulling things over, the third decided to keep Naruto's lineage a secret. Inside Naruto's mindscape, Kurama was pacing in a room while the child slept in his crib. With her seal being altered, she had the power to change the mindscape scenery and likened it to the Namake's mansion's image. After the first assassination attempt, she began practicing on manifesting a body in the outside world in order to protect the boy. She was able to hear Sarutobi's plan of sending Naruto to the orphanage after 2 months. This troubled Kurama as she knew that people in the orphanage would not treat the boy fairly. She could already see them neglecting the infant and underfeeding him. It was at this moment where the Shinigami reappeared and informed her that she would be sending help while Kurama perfected manifesting a body. Kushina would send someone back from the dead and make her pose as one of the caretakers in the orphanage until Naruto becomes 6 and learns the truth about him and his family. A small whiskered boy with blonde hair and crystal blue eyes could be seen walking by Konoha's market district. Everyone who saw him did not hide their glares. Some even threw him insults, calling him a demon and a murderer. Uzumaki Naruto was used to this. Although he did not understand why people hated him, something from his mind told him to ignore the villagers and their glares. Naruto only had 5 people whom he called family. One was the old man, who happened to be the leader of the village he lived in. The other 2 were a father and daughter who owned a ramen shop. Ichiraku's was the only restaurant that served him food and treated him like a normal person. His 4th precious person was a young woman named Mai. She was one of the orphanage's caretakers. Mai had been taking care of him ever since he was a baby. What Naruto did not know, she was sent by his biological mother to look after him. His 5th and most precious person was his mother, Kurama. His mother had taught him to read and write, and was always there to comfort him whenever he was sad because of the villagers. Whenever he would sleep, his mother would bring him to their home. She also strictly told him not to mention to the old man anything about her. Kurama had to constantly remind Naruto to stay away from the villagers and remain inside the orphanage. He was only allowed to go outside when Mai would accompany him. Despite her warnings, Naruto was a bit stubborn. He still insisted on going to the marketplace today all by himself. Last time he walked past the shop, a fox mask in display caught his attention. He really wanted this mask. And so there he was walking towards that shop. As he entered the store, the bells of the door ringed informing the shopkeeper of his arrival. "Good morning. How may I help?" The shopkeeper stopped as she recognized who the visitor was. Naruto happily walked inside the shop, and the next thing he knew he was covering his sensitive ears as the owner yelled at him. "Get out of my shop!" "Please. I mean no harm. I just wanted to buy something." "Get out." Naruto looked teary-eyed but remained on his spot. "Just let me buy something. I'm not going to do anything bad. I just want to buy that fox mask," whispered the boy sadly as he pointed at the item. The clerk glared at him, and then at the said mask. She took it from the display and threw it at the boy. Naruto yelped in pain as the mask hit him in the face. The impact made him fall on his bottoms. He quickly stood up and took out his purse and began counting. "I do not need your money, or anything that came from your filthy demon hands. Get out of my shop, and if you ever set foot here again, I will kill you." Naruto widened his eyes in fear. He quickly gathered the coins he laid on the counter and hastily stashed them in his pockets. Taking the fox mask with him, he dashed out of the shop and continued running until he was outside the market district. Inside the seal, Kurama sadly watched as Naruto ran tearfully. She could not blame the boy for being too stubborn. He was only 3, after all, and wanted to explore. But the villagers despised him. No matter how the boy tried to make himself look good for everyone, they would just yell at him, throw insults, or sometimes, become physical against him. And there were still assassination attempts. While it only occurred once or twice a week, it was still not a good thing. Occasionally there were mobs chasing after him. Thankfully, they never got to lay harm on him. That's it. 3 years. That is long enough to mourn their deceased. They should have gotten over it by now, as well as their hate for my son. How could they worship me as their beloved hero and yet treat Naruto as if he was you? An irate voice asked as it materialized. Like I've said before, humans are narrow-minded. Kurama replied pointedly at Minato. The fact that Sarutobi mentioned Naruto's Jinchuriki status instead of his lineage still angers me so. Sure, the third did not mean to bring harm to Naruto. He wanted the council to understand that Naruto was their savior for keeping you locked up, but he should have still told Konoha about who his parents were. That would have at least changed Konoha's view on my boy. I really don't know how to respond to that. I'm already annoyed with Konoha and everyone in it, except the Ikarakus. May the Creator give me patience. Because I'm really starting hate Konoha. Let's just hope now that Naruto finally realizes that Konoha will never accept him. Because I myself am already convinced. The will of fire is extinguished. When the third dies, Konoha will eventually fall. I don't see any good candidates for Godame. Naruto must understand now that Konoha is after his blood. They want him dead for heaven's sake. Even though the Sandaime explained what a storage seal was like, Naruto needs to realize how bad Konoha is now. He simply has to, before he becomes forced to. I don't want him getting critically injured before it happens. Don't worry. He'll eventually realize that. Let him keep his innocence for now anyway. I see he's back inside the orphanage. You should go. He'll be here in a few minutes. Minato nodded and vanished. The same day Mai was sent to look after Naruto, the Shinigami freed Minato from her stomach. Since Naruto's seal had been altered, Minato was, in a sense, sealed inside his son. Although he wasn't really bound, meaning he could return to the world of the dead and back to Naruto's mindscape whenever he wanted. The only thing that kept him from showing himself to his son was the Shinigami's word. Until Naruto becomes 6, the both of them cannot present themselves to their son as he could not see them yet. For now he just had to wait. A few moments later, Naruto materialized in front of the estate's gates. "Mother, I'm home," he called as he entered the house. Kurama appeared and welcomed him into a hug. After smothering the boy, she began inspecting his face for any injuries, although she was aware it had already healed. "Naruto, didn't I tell you not to go outside the orphanage without Mai? Look what that shopkeeper did to you." "I'm fine though. Look, I got the mask I wanted." The demoness just sighed as she patted the boy's head. "Come on, it's time for you to study." "But mother, can't we read a book this time with pictures? Too many symbols making me dizzy, you know." "Alright. Go put your mask in your room and see me in the library after." 1 year later. 1 year has passed since that time Naruto went to buy the fox mask. Ever since, he never went out of the orphanage without Mai. Hiruzen had been watching at that time using his crystal ball. After that event, he assigned one more ANBU squad to Naruto's guards, seeing the boy was now growing and will tend to explore. Right now, there were 3 ANBU squads watching the boy at a distance. For a 4-year-old, Naruto was already showing high intellect. He now figured out that Kurama wasn't actually his mother. Kurama knew that he knew about that fact. Although there was an unspoken agreement, Naruto still views Kurama as his mother and Kurama still loves Naruto as her own son. Ever since he was 3, Kurama had been teaching him things a person should know. Naruto can now properly read and write. He was now learning English as his second language, with Nihongo being his first. He also now has knowledge on how the world started. He's read about gods, demigods, humans, and shinobi. Kurama insisted that Naruto memorize everything about the deities. He didn't question his mother, as he knew that it will be important for him to know. When Naruto turned 4 last month, his mother started teaching him the basics of being a shinobi, explaining what they are, what they do, and their purpose. He was currently at the orphanage's huge playground and was doing target practice, throwing kunais and shurikens at 3 dummies Mai had erected for him. He was too concentrated on his task he did not notice 4 people watching him. As his last kunai hit the dummy's torso, he heard clapping noises. Naruto turned around and was surprised to see Mai clapping enthusiastically. Beside her was the Hokage along with 2 other people he did not know. "Mai Ne-chan!" "Gigi!" Naruto greeted as he ran to them happily. He shifted nervously as he stared at the other 2 people and mumbled a hello. "Hello, Naruto-kun, how are you doing?" asked the Hokage. "I'm doing great, Gigi. Did you see that? I can hit the targets now." "Yes, I did, Naruto-kun. That was very good," Hiruzen said as he patted the boy's head. "By the way, there's 2 people I'd like you to meet. This is Nagi and Emi Loliot. They are friends of mine. They have talked to me and expressed their intentions of adopting you. How does that sound?" Naruto's eyes shined in delight as he stared at the couple. "Really? You're going to adopt me?" asked the hopeful boy. This was very important to him as nobody wanted to adopt him. The other kids he knew at the orphanage have already found families. New kids were brought to the orphanage and got adopted, while he remained. Yes, Naruto-kun, we're going to adopt you. You will become a part of our family now, said Emi. Naruto squealed in delight as he began bouncing happily. Now, Naruto-chan, let us pack your things, Mai said as he took the boy's hand and led him inside the orphanage. Ne-chan, what about you? What about me, Naruto-chan? I won't see you again, Naruto whispered sadly. They stopped walking as Mai kneeled in front of the boy and looked him in the eye. Naruto-chan, even if you get adopted, you'll still be seeing me. I'm going to visit you once a week, okay? This made the boy cheer up. Naruto nodded as they entered his room. 1 year and 11 months later, 1 week before Naruto's 6th birthday. Word about the demon brat getting adopted spread to the village 2 days after Naruto officially took the name Loliot. Nagi and Emi Loliot were veteran shinobi and were among those who have lost family members during the Kyuubi's attack. They have lost their 2 sons who were both jounins, from fighting the beast. The whole village knew this and believed that the only reason why the couple adopted the little demon was to kill him and avenge their deceased sons. Sarutobi was also aware of this and ordered Naruto's ANBU guards to keep an eye out. However, it was now almost 2 years since they have adopted Naruto. The village and the Hokage's suspicion of the 2 killing Naruto was gone, seeing the boy healthy and well. Loliot Naruto was currently at the Loliot residence's training yard doing chakra exercises. Since his adoptive parents were veteran shinobi and fought during the Third War, they have started giving him shinobi training. Even though he's only 5, he was now at academy level to low genin. After keeping 4 spinning leaves on his forehead for an hour, he stopped and sat down tiredly. Naruto-kun, Emi called from the kitchen. Dinner is ready. Come on, time to eat. I'm sure you're tired and hungry. Naruto happily ran inside the house and sat down at the dinner table. What are we having for tonight, Ka-san? Emi smiled sweetly at him. Too sweetly. This made Kurama nervous. Tonight, we're having dead demon. Naruto-chan, watch out. Naruto heard her but wasn't fast enough as Nagi appeared behind him and slapped something on his back. What's going on? Naruto asked. Don't feign ignorance, you little demon. You killed our sons, screamed Emi as she took out a kitchen knife. But I didn't kill anyone, replied the boy. He tried gathering chakra to his legs so he could jump at any moment's notice but found that he could not. You're a demon. You're a murderer. And don't even think about escaping. I've sealed away your chakra. Tonight is the night you die, Kyuubi, said Nagi as he unsheathed his katana. Inside Naruto's mindscape, Kurama was calling out his name in panic. She could still hear and see everything what's going on outside. She can feel her heart breaking as she felt Naruto's increasing fear. However, there was no response from Naruto as she continued trying to contact him. For years, we have waited for the opportunity to kill you. When we adopted you, we could not kill you yet and we had to wait until the Hokages no longer suspected us of harming you. And now, he's finally entrusted you to us, Emi said as she began walking towards the boy. But you're not going to kill me, are you? You said many times that you loved me, sniffled Naruto. Love? Nagi scoffed. We never loved you. We only loved our real sons. The ones that you killed. But... Ha! That was called acting. Now die, demon! Naruto screamed as he felt Nagi's katana pierce his stomach. Please stop. Emi felt pleasure as the boy's screams penetrated her ear. She raised her knife and stabbed Naruto at the shoulder. No! Please stop! Nagi unstuck the katana and once again stabbed the boy, this time at the lung area. Somebody, please help! Naruto cried as his breathing became difficult. Nobody's going to help you, demon. We have memorized the time of your ANBU guards' shift patterns. We still have 3 minutes left before they arrive. Even if they catch us, you would be dead then. The village will recognize us as heroes. We will be the ones who finally killed the Kyuubi. The words did not register to Naruto's mind as he was too consumed by pain. It felt like an eternity as he continued to get stabbed. He fell to the floor and curled into a position to protect his face. Aya! Naruto managed to scream out loud before he finally lost consciousness. Nagi was about to deliver a killing blow when he and Emi were lifted off from their positions and were thrown towards the opposite wall. An ANBU wearing a weasel mask immediately appeared in front of the couple. Nagi and Emi screamed in terror as their eyes met the ANBUs and slumped to the floor unconscious. An ANBU wearing a dog mask approached the bleeding Naruto and gently lifted him up. The ANBU left the house and rushed the boy to the hospital. Naruto's mindscape. Kurama was already working on repairing Naruto's body while he was rushed to hospital. As Naruto appeared in the mindscape, she immediately enveloped him into a hug. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, Kurama repeated as she gently stroked the boy's head while she cried. Naruto clung to Kurama tightly as he felt her embrace. He buried his face in her chest as he cried his heart out. Kushina and Minato watched at a distance while they too had tears falling down their eyes. Kushina watched sadly as Naruto cried himself to sleep and before she left the mindscape. Minato remained and kept watch as Kurama carried Naruto to his room. Yomi no Kuni, World of Darkness, Land of the Dead. Kagetsuchi. The Shinigami called. Yes, my lady? Bring me Loliot Nagi and Loliot Emi souls. Now. Will do, Shinigami-sama. Back to the human realm. Loliot residence. Weasel and another ANB wearing a cat mask just finished tying the criminals and were about to bring them to Ibiki. They did not notice nor feel when a black portal appeared in the middle of the dining area, a young woman stepping out of it. The figure tapped Weasel and Cat's shoulders to call their attention. The two ANBU quickly jumped in action and drew their swords, also alerting the other ANBU who were outside, securing the perimeter. The newcomer's face remained impassive as she summoned a sword from the shadows. Time seemed to slow. She immediately pierced Nagi's chest before the ANBU could react. She had already pierced Emi's heart by the time the ANBU realized what was happening. The shadowy figure unsummoned the sword that now contained its two new victim souls, sending it back to Yomi. The intruder was now surrounded by 11 ANBU but looked unfazed. She raised her arms and summoned another portal. The ANBU made an attempt to subdue her but only phased through as they made contact with her body. She was gone by the time the ANBU recovered from their shock. Konoha Hospital. How is he? Asked the worried Hokage. The patient is now stable. We have managed to heal his vital organs and stop the bleeding. The Kyuubi is helping with his recovery, replied a doctor. We may now transfer him to a private room. It would be best if we leave him unbothered for a day. The boy needs his rest, said another one. The Sandaime sighed in relief. He nodded and walked beside the nurses as they transferred Naruto to a secure room. Hiruzen assigned 3 ANBU squads to guard the boy. 2 will be standing guard outside the room while the third team hid inside. Konoha Torture and Interrogation Building. Inoichi. Report. Hokage-sama. I have managed to extract their memories. At exactly 7 in the evening, Loliot Emi called Naruto to dinner. Naruto just finished training. As he sat down at the dining table, the Yamanaka head reported everything that happened during that night, exactly saying what the criminals told Naruto. I see. Thank you, Inoichi. Weasel, report. My squad just switched with the other squad when we felt Naruto's chakra spike and then weaken. We rushed and arrived at the house to find the boy at the floor already unconscious, while the couple were too busy attacking him. Inu Taishu attacked Mr. and Mrs. Loliot and sent them flying to a wall. I put them under a genjutsu, immediately disabling them. As Taicho rushed Naruto to the hospital, me and Kat secured the offenders and prepared to bring them to Ibiki-sen for interrogation. However, a woman, whom we did not notice arrive, tapped our shoulders to call our attention. Me and Kat jumped into a distance and prepared for a fight. The woman ignored us and summoned a sword from the shadows, using it to kill the two. We were not able to apprehend her, as she was intangible. She left by summoning what appeared to be a portal right after killing the Loliots. Can you describe this woman? Did you recognize her? Hi. The woman was none other than Naruto's personal caretaker, Mai. The Hokage's eyes narrowed when he heard the mysterious attacker's name. After a few moments of silence, he puffed smoke from his pipe. Search the whole village for her. We already did, Hokage-sama. But we found no traces of her. We informed the Barrier Corps, but they informed us that they haven't seen anyone enter or exit the village at that time up until now. Naruto's mindscape. Why? The boy asked as he stared at the mirror in his room. Why me? He asked again. Naruto looked up as Kurama entered and sat at the bed, asking him to sit as well. Naruchan, come here. Kurama beckoned. It is time for you to know why Konoha wants you dead. Naruto sadly stared at the demoness as he sat beside her. And so Kurama began telling him about the night he was born, while also keeping his parents' identities. She promised him that Naruto will learn about his parents on his 6th birthday. She explained what tailed beasts and jinchurikis are, also informing the boy that his mother was her previous host. As Kurama finished explaining, Naruto kept silent for a long time. She was glad when the boy suddenly tackled her into a hug. It is not your fault, right, Ka-chan? It is the masked man's fault. If it wasn't for him, my parents would be alive now. I'm innocent, yes. I was also a victim during that night. But the people of Konoha will never believe that story. They will continue to see you as me even if you were only the container. Now, come with me outside. I'm going to enhance your senses even further. From now on, you will be able to sense negative emotions and feelings. You will be able to identify those who are hostile to you. Konoha Hospital. Naruto remained unconscious for 2 days, only waking on the 3rd day. He heard beeping sounds as he opened his eyes. He looked around and found himself in a white room. An 4 was connected to his left arm while a breathing mask covered his nose and mouth. He gasped loudly and sat up. He yanked out the 4 cord and threw away the mask that was helping him breathe. Remembering what happened before he lost consciousness, panic rose to his chest as he felt 4 other presents in the room but could not see them. Naruto's eyes darted from the room's windows to the door and back. Gathering chakra to his legs, he bolted towards the door but found it locked. He tried forcing it open but heard movement on the other side, forcing him to scurry away from the door and ran towards the windows. The door made a clicking noise and opened, revealing the Sandaime Hokage. Hiruzen was surprised when he entered the room and saw Naruto desperately trying to open the windows. Naruto-kun, he called out. The boy only yelped in fright, not recognizing the old man. Naruto was now crying as he ran to a far corner and curled into a ball, screaming for help. Naruto! The Hokage shouted as he tried to reach for the boy. Naruto-kun, it's me. Please calm down, no one's going to hurt you. You're safe now. Aya! Naruto! Calm down! The Hokage's pleas fell into deaf ears as the boy continued to scream hysterically. Naruto! Frustrated, Hiruzen slapped the boy's face, snapping him back to reality. The Hokage breathed a sigh of relief as the boy finally calmed down, not realizing the side effect of slapping the boy. He never took into consideration Naruto's already fragile state. Naruto was broken-hearted. His watery eyes stared at the Hokage's face. His beloved Jiji, one of his 5 only trusted people, just slapped him. He slapped me, he hurt me. Just like the others, yes, that's right, he was the one who gave me to them so they could kill me but they failed and so he hurt me but he cares about me, right? Or was everything an act? Does he want to kill me too? Konohagakure, 2 days later, 2 days before Naruto's birthday. Hokage office. Jiji, why does the village hate me? What did I ever do to make them hate me? Naruto asked. Of course he already knew, Kurama already told him. But Naruto wanted to confirm his suspicions about the old man. If he answered him honestly, he will still see him as one of his precious people. If he does not tell him about the Kyuubi, then it will be right for him to suspect that the Hokage wanted him dead as well, like the whole village. The Hokage looked at him for a moment before he responded. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, I do not know. Do you know my parents? Can you tell me about them? Naruto asked again. He frequently asked the Hokage about his parents. Even though he already knew what the old man would say no, Naruto still hoped that the answer would change. Naruto-kun, how many times do I have to tell you? I do not know who your parents are. Hiruzen replied as he sighed, looking sadly and guiltily at the child in front of him. Naruto saw the guilt in the Hokage's eyes. Deep inside, the boy felt disappointed. His remaining trust towards his Jiji was rapidly vanishing. For the last time, he tried again. But you're the Hokage. You're supposed to know. Hiruzen simply stared at the boy with guilt. He could not bring himself to tell the boy, so he remained silent. Naruto sighed in defeat as his shoulders slumped. All right. I'm sorry for my outburst and for bothering you. I'll be going. Before Hiruzen could respond, Naruto hurriedly walked towards the exit. The boy ran away from the Hokage tower, with no actual direction. Naruto just wanted to stay away from the old man, no, the Hokage. He's no longer Naruto's Jiji or old man. For the boy, Hiruzen was the Hokage who wanted him dead. Seeing he was far enough from the tower, Naruto slowed down to a walk as he began to recover his breath. Unfortunately for him, his running caught the attention of the villagers. Naruto did realize just now that he was at the market district, where there were many people. Hey, it's the demon! Someone shouted. Naruto gasped in fear and bolted into a run. It's getting away! Die! Kill the demon! And so the chase began. Thanks to his shinobi training, Naruto was able to lose the civilian mob on his tail, losing half the number of his pursuers. Now there were only shinobi pursuing him, consisted of genins, chunins, and some jonins. Naruto-chan, in here, quick! A voice whispered as Naruto ran past an alleyway. Thanks to his heightened senses, he was able to hear and recognize the voice and quickly made a turn. He was startled as an arm grabbed him into a black vortex. Naruto was gone just as his pursuers arrived. Damn it, where did the demon go? Namake's estate. Naruto was expecting to be hurt when the arm grabbed him. He was surprised when no pain came but instead a warm, comforting hug. Are you okay? His rescuer asked as he was released. Why yeah. Naruto replied as he looked at his rescuer. Recognizing his caretaker from the orphanage, he tackled her into a hug. Nei-chan, it's you! You saved me! Mai smiled as she hugged the boy tight. I'm sorry I was late. It's okay, Nei-chan. They didn't land a hit on me this time. No, I meant those two who adopted you and tried to kill you. Forgive me. I was assigned by your mother to look after you, but I failed my duty. I trusted the Lolliats wouldn't harm you. I was wrong. You almost died. Wait, my mother? Yes, Naruto-chan. I was sent by your biological mother. But I thought she's dead? She is. But how? Were you working for her even before I was born? No. I only met her when she died. Ukake? Naruto replied, totally confused. Mai simply smiled and ruffled the boy's hair. You will understand on your birthday. Everything about your family will be explained, I promise. Okay, Nei-chan, I trust you. Also, don't punish yourself about those two. They're dead anyway. How did you know? I overheard the people talking about them. They were killed the same night they tried to kill me. I don't know who did it though, but if I knew who did, I'm going to thank that person and probably give a kiss if she's a girl. Mai smirked and pinched the boy's cheeks. You're welcome, Naruto-chan. Wait, what? Now where's my kiss? Asked an amused Mai. You're the one who did it? Yes. Wow. The boy said, awestruck. He smirked as he once again tackled the girl to a hug and kissed her cheeks. Thanks, Nei-chan. You're welcome, Naruto-chan. Where are we anyway? Whose home is this? We're currently inside your house, your supposed true home. My real home? This is where your parents lived. Don't worry. This house is placed with seals. Nobody knows we're here. Now, enough questions. They will be answered on your birthday. Let's have some ramen, shall we? I'm sure you're hungry. Time skip, 10th of October's Eve. Namake's estate. Naruto remained inside the mansion, while Mai used a henge to go outside and acquire the necessary supplies for the house. During their 2-day stay, Mai let Naruto have some private time while she kept guard and listened to what's happening outside, watching out for threats. Unknown to the boy, Mai was adding layers upon layers of seals around the house. This was to keep outsiders from feeling 3 strong presences radiating from the mansion that will appear later. Naruto was currently waiting at the living hall, dressed in a formal light blue kimono that Mai prepared for him. Naruto checked the time. It was now 10 minutes before October the 10th. 10 minutes before he turned 6. Just then, he heard Kurama's voice from his head. Naruto-chan. Please create a shadow clone. Naruto was confused at his adoptive mother's sudden request but complied. Forming his hands into a cross seal, he murmured as he called the name of his technique. There was a puff of smoke in front of Naruto, and on it appeared Kurama's human form instead of a shadow clone. She was also wearing a kimono, but hers were red-orange. Ka-chan? What's going on? Naruto-chan, it's time for you to meet your biological parents. It was at that moment a black vortex appeared. From it black and white mist emanated, filling the living room. The temperature in the house dropped. The mist slowly formed into a spectral image of a cloaked figure wielding a scythe. Naruto was staring at the figure with wide eyes. Sure, Shinigami? Is this how I'm going to meet my parents? By me having to die? Naruto thought. However, he became more puzzled when the Shinigami changed form and took the appearance of a beautiful woman with flowing red hair, wearing a red kimono. The woman held out her hand as a yellow orb appeared. The yellow orb began glowing and later on took the form of a man with blonde hair, dressed in a blue kimono. Naruto immediately recognized him as the Yondaime Hokage. "Hello, Naruto-chan." The woman greeted with a warm and loving smile. "Shinigami-sama?" A confused Naruto replied, making her and the man chuckle. "You have grown well. Happy birthday, son," the two chorused. Naruto suddenly found himself engulfed into a hug. "Son?" "Yes, Naruto-chan. You are our son," the woman said, as if reading his thoughts. I am the son of the Yondaime Hokage and the Shinigami. That makes me a demigod," Naruto half shouted. "We know that, Naruto-kun. That's a lot to take in," the Yondaime joked. "Let's have our seats, shall we? Your father and I will explain things to you." Alright, Ka-chan," Naruto nervously said. The woman smiled at Naruto for calling her his mother. For the following 2 hours, Minato and Kushina told their son about themselves. Starting with their names and their identities. They told Naruto about their life. How they met, and how they eventually fell in love. Resulting them getting married and him getting born into this world. Kushina also explained to Naruto about her being the former Kyuubi Jinchuriki, and it being a secret. Later on, they came to the topic about the night he was born, eventually explaining to Naruto how Kushina became the Shinigami and Minato's soul being freed from her stomach. They showed the memory from Naruto's birth up to the part where Sarutobi took him from his dead parents' embrace. At this point, Naruto began to tremble with rage. He knew my parents, he knew about the Kyuubi. I asked him many times and he didn't tell me. "Naruto-kun, we're so sorry for having to put you through this kind of life. But know that you are our son and we love you. I no longer consider myself a Konoha's Hokage. I've made the mistake of choosing the village first instead of my own family. The village I willingly died for betrayed me," Minato started. "Know this, Naruto-chan. Whatever you do, we will support you. So, if you want to lay waste upon Konoha, we'll gladly help you," Kushina finished with an evil smirk. Naruto was surprised at his parents' declaration. He suspected them to tell him to forgive the villagers and be a good boy and all that. He smiled deviously as he nodded to his parents, happy that they too hated the village. "Another thing. It's time for you to formally meet your spirit guardian," Kushina said as she motioned to Mai, who was sitting beside Kurama. Mai nodded as her body began to glow and transform. A few moments later there was a black claymore on the spot where the girl was earlier. Kurama stood up and took the weapon, giving it to Naruto. "Naruto-chan, this is Kagutsuchi. You already knew her as Mai. She was the one I sent to look after you ever since that old fool Sarutobi sent you to the orphanage. As you have studied the deities before, know that she is indeed the real Kagutsuchi. The beginning of death," Kushina stated as Naruto took the sword from Kurama and began inspecting it. The sword was elegant black that looked like obsidian. However, it was not brittle like most glass but was stronger than any mortal blade. From the pommel and up to the guard, it had red intricate markings and symbols from the world of the dead. The front guard had the kanji for beginning while the back guard had the kanji for the word death. The fuller also had intricate markings but was gold instead of red. Finally, the blade radiated a black glow and looked very sharp. At the tip were red glaring eyes on both sides. The blade started to glow as Naruto finished inspecting it. Upon instinct, he gently laid it on the floor. The sword once again transformed and took on the form of Mai. "It is a pleasure to finally introduce myself to you, Naruto-sama. As your spirit guardian, I will be your partner in battle and in other things. The sword is my original form, while this is my human form. I can also morph into different kinds of other weapons. I can be only wielded by you. Those who will wield me without your consent will immediately die. Their souls will be sucked by me. As of this moment, I already contain 2 souls, the Lolliats. Shinigami-sama shall be the one to explain about the soul capturing and your powers as well." "My powers?" "Yes, Naruto-chan. When I became the Shinigami, I was able to see your future while I held you as a baby. I gave you powers for you to use. I saw how Konoha treated you for keeping them safe. And that vision I saw was true. Many times there were attempts on your life, with the latest one almost succeeding," started Kushina. "As the son of the Shinigami, I have given you powers to back your title. Your main power will be control over darkness. You will be able to control shadows and mold it to solid objects of your liking. You will also be able to cast darkness even at the brightest of places. Another thing is you will be able to see clearly in the darkness, with your other senses also heightening while in it. Like Mai, you will also be able to shadow travel. Your powers over darkness and shadows will make the strongest Nara look weak compared to you. But of course, you will still have to train using these. Mai will be there to assist you." My second gift to you is another bloodline. This one is a dojutsu. Like the Sharingan Eye of the Uchiha, it has certain levels to unlock. Yours have already awakened 2 hours ago, as I have willed for you to unlock your powers once you turn 6. I have no name for your dojutsu yet, as I saw fit for you to be the one to name it. Your dojutsu has 6 levels. The first one, that you have already unlocked, allows you to see and communicate with the souls of the dead. Aside from that, you can also detect life forces. The more you train with it, the farther the distance you could detect. The second level allows you to command souls to do tasks that do not require physical contact. The second level also allows you to identify exactly whose life forces it is that you see. The third level allows you to command souls to do tasks that require physical contact. It will also allow you to tell of a certain life force whether if it's dying, sick, or healthy. The fourth level, in exchange of 6 human lives, your dojutsu allows you to revive the dead for an amount of time. The length of time depends on your mastery with the technique, with the maximum time limit being 60 years. This doesn't necessarily mean they could complete the 60-year time limit, as they could still die by other causes. Be it sickness, old age, or getting killed. Once they die for the second time, you won't be able to revive them again. Lastly, the fourth level finally allows you to see the exact date and time of a living being's death. The fifth level, also in exchange of 6 souls, allows you to permanently bring back someone from the dead. Take note that this has a limit of 6. Once you revive a 7th, one of the 6 has to return to the world of the dead. Like the temporary ones, they can be also killed or die of natural cause. You can't also revive them for the second time once they die. Remember this, Naruto-chan. There are certain souls that cannot be revived. There are also souls that will require my approval for revival. You can't just bring back anyone from the dead. Sadly, your father is one of the souls that cannot be revived. The 6th and the last level allows you to use the techniques Life Drain and Soul Drain. In order to use both techniques, you have to be in physical contact with the victim. Once you have unlocked the 6th level of your dojutsu, the souls you have captured and contained inside Kagutsuchi will be now usable. They will follow your every command and protect you from any kind of harm, regardless of their relationship with you before being sealed. You will also be able to give them back their physical bodies. Like the 5th level, you are only allowed to give physical bodies up to 6 souls. And lastly, you have the power to finally send their soul to the land of the dead should you wish to. Wow! Was the only thing Naruto could say. Wow indeed. But it's not just that. You'll learn more interesting things shinobi cannot do. I will teach it to you. Since I am the Shinigami, that makes me a god. And there are certain laws about gods and mortals. One of them is where we can't interact with mortals frequently. But don't worry, Naruto-chan, your dad and I will still be guiding you. Kushina reassured. Now, is there anything you'd like? A special request perhaps, since it is your birthday? Unfortunately, it can't be us staying with you for long. We can only stay with you from 3 to 4 in the morning. Today was earlier and longer since it is your 6th birthday. I suppose we could watch a movie together, Naruto said. What movie, dear? Naruto had an evil glint in his eye that made the Shinigami sighed and Kushina proud. Konohagakure, October 10, 3 a.m. As a member of the task force, Uchiha Raito with his partner Nagi were doing the patrols in the village. Raito had been working in the task force for 10 years now while his partner, Nagi, was doing his first ever patrol as he was a new recruit. As they walked past the walls and near the forest area, they heard noises. Nagi, being the first-timer he was, immediately became scared and thought of ghosts. Pull yourself together, kid. It can't be ghosts. I've been patrolling this area for 10 years now. What we heard could be intruders or something, said Raito as he began walking. They followed the source and went through the forest and were eventually led into a clearing. There they saw a girl that looked like no more than 5 years old. The girl had her back turned to them. She seemed to be cuddling a teddy bear and was humming to it. What on earth is that kid doing here at this time in the morning? Nagi thought. Who's the irresponsible parent that left this child here? Raito thought as he walked towards the girl. The girl stopped her humming as she sensed their approach. Are you my mummy and daddy? The girl asked, still not showing her face. No, kid. We're members of the police task force. Don't worry though, we will help you find your parents, replied Raito. What are you doing here, by the way? Asked Nagi as he too approached the girl. If you're not my mum and dad, go away, screamed the girl. Now, kid, that's not a good thing to say. We just want to help, an annoyed Nagi said as he grabbed the girl's shoulder and forced her to face them. The two Uchihas froze as they saw the girl's face. Or rather, her missing face. The girl had no face. Nagi immediately let go of the girl as he let out a loud gasp. The girl vanished into thin air then. Getting over from his shock, Raito activated his Sharingan and muttered Kai while also sending chakra to his partner to get rid of the supposed genjutsu. Just then, they heard the humming of the girl again. Only this time it was coming from 6 directions. Line. In another part of the village, Izumo let out a bored yawn as he stared at the dark forest outside the main gate. His partner Kotetsu did the same as he finished his crossword puzzle. Man, this is so boring. Come on, it's 3 in the morning and we're stuck here. Who on earth would come visit at this time of hour anyway? Complained Kotetsu. Be careful what you ask for, as the saying goes. Izumo narrowed his eyes as he saw 6 white hooded figures coming near the gate. He nudged his partner to inform about their arrival. Halt! What business do you have here? Said Izumo. Instead of hearing them respond in their language, the immortal Chunins heard high-pitched gibberish sounds. What country are you from? Can you please remove your hoods for identification? Asked Kotetsu, hoping they'd understand. The cloaked figures appeared to understand him as they removed their hoods. Izumo and Kotetsu gaped in shock as the figures had no heads. Line. Sarutobi Hiruzen slept soundly in his desk. His head not visible due to the high stacks of papers around him. For the past 3 days, he had been receiving increasing amounts of demands from the whole village. Since October the 10th was approaching, they were demanding for Naruto's execution. Speaking of the boy, Hiruzen haven't seen him since their last meeting. Even with his crystal ball, he could not find the boy. The Hokage supposed that Naruto was hiding from the villagers. He could not blame the child since he knew about the mobs. He felt sad because of it and moreover, he felt Naruto became distant towards him ever since the Loliot incident. And so there he was, fast asleep due to the stress. He was awoken from his slumber when he felt the room's temperature drop. Shivering, he checked the thermometer's number going from 0 to negative and was still dropping. Hiruzen, a soft, yet very chilling voice whispered in the room. The Hokage tried to cast a fire jutsu to warm himself but found that he could not. Hiruzen, the voice repeated. This time, it was louder and colder, as if promising death. The temperature went back to normal when an ANBU barged into his office. Hokage-sama. Hiruzen narrowed his eyes as he read his ANBU's body language. He could see that the ANBU was bothered about something. Normally an ANBU wouldn't show that much emotion unless something big has happened. Hokage-sama. There had been some disturbing reports from the whole village. Patrols have reported spotting individuals and groups of people with no heads, faces, or limbs. They are wandering around the village but don't appear to be attacking. Just then, another ANBU appeared in front of him via Shunshin. The ANBU was about to give a report when they heard the secretary outside screaming. Ah, skeletons! That said the ANBU. What I was about to report. What the hell is going on? The Hokage shouted. You there! Alert all ANBU about the situation. You do the same for the Jounins. We might be facing an invasion here. Hiruzen stated as he pointed at the second ANBU. As the 2 ANBU left, Hiruzen immediately activated his crystal orb and checked the village. There were small wisps of smoke here and there that would eventually turn into a huge fire if left alone. The Hokage figured it was the now awake villagers trying to kill the skeletons by setting them on fire. He knew that it won't be long before Konoha woke up in a mass panic. This can't be good, muttered the Sandaime. One of you go and sound the alarm now. Soon enough, the small plumes of smoke turned into huge fires due to more and more civilians trying to kill the anomalies by setting things on fire. Namake's estate, 4 a.m. Naruto with his family watched the chaos in a 360 hologram screen. It had been an hour now since his mother summoned the souls of the damned from the underworld to terrorize the village. They had fun watching the villagers set things on fire while running around in hysteria. Some who have managed to run in the village's safe bunkers ran from it as soon as they saw the place infested with the dead as well. The only place and people who were not bothered were the Ikirakus. The Shinigami have tasked the dead not to make themselves visible to the 2, since they were the only people in Konoha who were good to Naruto. Time's up, said Kushina as she snapped her fingers, and immediately, the souls went back to the underworld. That was fun, said Naruto. Indeed. I never thought I'd enjoy watching the village in chaos, said Minato. After everything they did to your son, I'm sure you'll love to see it in ruins, said Kurama. True. Our time's up now as well, Naruchan. Don't worry, your dad and I will be visiting you every Saturday, 3 to 4 in the morning. said Kushina as she opened a black portal. Naruto then stood up, hugged and kissed his parents before they left. As soon as they left, he let out a long yawn. Time for bed, Naruto-chan, Kurama said as she gently picked him up and carried him to his room, with Kagutsuchi following behind. Kanehigakure. Inside the Namikaze estate. Poke. Giggle. Poke. Poke. More giggles. Naruto felt something cold prodding and tracing his whisker marks and woke up hearing giggling sounds. When he opened his eyes, he saw the ghost of a red-haired girl whose face was near his. She made a startled deep noise when she realized that the blonde was finally awake and was staring at her. The ghost quickly vanished from sight and left Naruto to his thoughts. Eh? What was that all about? You can see and hear souls now, remember? Oh. Right. Naruto muttered out loud. Naruto-sama, how was your sleep? Mai asked as she came inside the room, carrying a tray of breakfast. It was great. I can't wait to see my parents again this Saturday. Anyway, how are things going outside? Outside the Namikaze estate. Small traces of smoke could still be seen here and there. The people of Konoha have spent all morning putting out the fires. For some unexplainable reason, the fires were not easily doused no matter how much water or special sand they used. They estimated another hour or two before the fires were finally put out. Another thing that mystified them was that nobody died during the mass panic. There have been multiple reports about people being seen getting trapped inside burning buildings or getting trampled by the stampede. They didn't receive any wounds either. Only the buildings seemed to have been affected by the incident. However, while the people of Kanehigakure remained physically unscathed, they were mentally scarred by the things they have seen earlier that morning. What the Konoha villagers did not know, those who were supposed to have died actually died but were prevented by the Shinigami to go to the afterlife. They were simply sent back. The Sandaime Hokage have ordered the village to be put on a tight lockdown. Nobody was going in or out the place. Everywhere, Anbu and Jounin could be seen patrolling the streets or interviewing villagers. The Chunins were putting out the fires while the Genins were helping out distribute supplies. Back inside the Namikaze estate. Alright. Starting today we will begin training with your dark release. Began Mai, or Kaguchi, now that her true identity's been revealed. Harnessing darkness around you is just the same as connecting to your inner self to unlock your chakra. However, your darkness element is not connected with your chakra pathways. Rather, it has another system. Simply put, you have another source of power. When you were born, you originally had one but acquired another one when the Kyuubi was sealed into you. You got your third when Shinigami-sama blessed you with her powers. One is your main chakra system, that we will refer to as your human chakra. The second is the one you got from Kyuubi, the one that we will refer to as your demonic chakra, thus giving you a second chakra system that is darker than your original. Your third system is made up of your darkness element. It is completely dark and more potent compared to your first and second chakra systems combined. That one we will refer to as your dark chakra or dark element. Now, before we begin, I want you to create a Kage Bunshin. Pour half of your human and demon chakra to it. Kurama-san will train you with your original chakra while I train you with your darkness element. Naruto nodded and then did as he was told. The Bunshin went off to the second training ground and created another Bunshin for Kurama to take form. Kagutsuchi then waved her hand and suddenly the training ground became surrounded with darkness. Good. Now, in order to unlock your dark chakra pathways, you will have to meditate. Concentrate on your dark emotions, feel the darkness around you. If you're having problems grasping it, just remember your parents. Remember how the villagers treated you. Remember how the Sandaime lied to you. Remember how you almost got killed by the Lolliats. Remember last night when you finally met your parents and knew the truth. Remember how you had fun watching the villagers run around in panic. Let the shadows embrace you. Let the darkness consume you. Naruto closed his eyes and recalled all the memories he can remember since his birth. Every glare he had to endure, the insults, the isolation he received, the Sandaime's filthy lies. Slowly, he began to feel the void around him. Next he remembered every good memory. Mai being there for him, Kurama watching out for him as a mother, and then him finally meeting his parents. That good feeling when he found out about his powers. The swirling darkness around him embraced him and Naruto welcomed it with open arms. Kagutsuchi watched as the training grounds went back to its normal state. The surrounding darkness went to Naruto and made him look like godly, his body emitting a dark glowing aura. Naruto opened his eyes and stood up. He raised his left arm and closed his hand into a fist. A tendril of shadow appeared in front of him and also formed into a fist. Well done, Naruto-sama. You have unlocked your dark prowess and have a good grasp of it. Before we train with the rest of your darkness abilities, I will train you first in mastering the art of shadow traveling. Time skip, 1 week later. Naruto was currently meditating, trying to get a stronger feel with his dark element. He was currently having problems grasping more of it. You lack darkness. Naruto opened his eyes and found a red-haired girl staring at him. She was also sitting in a meditative position. What? I said you lack darkness? In order to increase your grasp, you need to experience and feel more negative emotions. There is something that prevents you from gathering dark chakra with no limits. You must visit your homeland first. Naruto stared at the ghost blankly. He couldn't understand a thing she was saying. The girl slapped her forehead as she remembered something. I'm sorry. I forgot. You do not speak our language. Language? Yes. Like you, I'm an Uzumaki. Our clan has its own language. Naruto looked at the girl excitedly. So you're an Uzumaki? Are there any others here? The ghost stared at him for a long time, unnerving the boy. That I cannot tell you. You will have to figure it out yourself. But here are 2 hints. 1. Learn our language. 2. Visit the ruins of our home village, Uzushiogakure. Who are you anyway? I apologize, I forgot to introduce myself first. I'm Uzumaki Kasumi. I was a genin about to become chunin when I died. I was 14. That's all I can tell you for now. Also, I can only teach you the basics to our language. You will have to ask Shinigami-sama, your mother, to teach it to you. It will be faster. Time skip, 7 weeks later. Naruto can now do shadow traveling but still had a limit. He can only travel a maximum of 600 meters. During his training, he also made friends with some ghosts. 3 days after Kasumi introduced herself, Naruto asked his mother about their clan. He was then told about Uzushiogakure and the Uzumaki clan. Naruto found out that he also inherited the Uzumaki chakra chains. Although unlike the normal golden color, his chains were obsidian black. He didn't mind though. His mind was set on visiting the ruins of Uzushiogakure. He was curious about his ancestry. And so Naruto was packing things for a 1-week stay at Yuzu. Kagetsuchi will be helping him with the shadow traveling. Before he left, he decided to at least make himself seen by the Sandaime. Naruto would eat at Ikaraka's before he went to Yuzu. Hokage's office. Hiruzen was worried. Normally the boy would come visit his office every weekend, but it had been 2 months since the last time he saw Naruto. Today was another normal day for him. He was taking a break after doing a lot of paperwork. For the past 2 months he spent his break time gazing the crystal ball, while also looking for Naruto. He was hoping that he would find the boy today. The Sandaime soon found his wish granted. He found the boy eating at Ichiraka's. Immediately, he called for his ANBU and tasked them to invite the boy to his office once he was finished with his meal. Ichiraka's. Naruto was fully aware about the Hokage sending ANBU to fetch him. He didn't show it but instead kept his focus to his food. Your ramen's delicious as always, old man. Here, keep the change. Stay beautiful, I am Chan. I'll be going. You're always welcome here, Naruto-kun. Please visit more often. I will, when I'm strong enough to defend myself. You know how Konoha loves me. I have to stay low for now. Tucci nodded sadly and gave him a package. Here. For your training. It's on the house. Thanks, I'll be leaving now. It was at this moment the ANBU chose to appear at the stand. Naruto-san, you have been invited to the Hokage's office. Alright, bring me to him. The ANBU nodded and put his hand on the boy's shoulder and shunshin to the Hokage's office. Hokage's office. Sarutobi smiled as the ANBU returned with the boy. Naruto have changed since the last time he met him. The boy have grown a few inches. He was also looking more athletic despite his young age. His clothing was all black. On his back was a sword he's never seen before. Naruto, my boy. How are you? It's been so long. Come, sit. Naruto nodded and sat opposite the Hokage's desk. Hokage-sama. Hokage-sama? What happened to Gigi? The Sandaime and the ANBU in the room thought. He's changed, thought Hiruzen. What happened to you? Where have you been this past 2 months? I'm doing well, Hokage-sama. I was in my parents' house. I hid there for 2 months while also training. I used a random henge whenever I went outside to get some supplies. Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Sarutobi nodded, thinking of the Lolliats. I see. You may go now, Naruto-kun. If you need anything, I'll be here in my office, alright? Thank you, Hokage-sama. I'll go now. Naruto bowed and left the building. He walked towards an isolated street and looked for a shadow. He was about to shadow travel to Uzushio when he heard voices. You were sent by the Uzukage, said a voice. Naruto looked and saw 4 masked people and recognized it as ANBU, however their masks were different. With them was an old man in bandages. Naruto at first thought he was glaring at him when another voice behind him spoke. Yes, Kasumi's voice replied. What's going on here? Naruto wondered. Konoha will not aid your village. Your mission is a failure. I have already presented the scroll to the Sandaime. He will send help. Whirlpool are allies with the Leaf. You have no authority to interfere. I am Shimura Danzo. I am the founder of Root. I have authority. Your clan has been doomed the moment the Alliance decided to destroy your clan. I'm going to make sure Konoha doesn't send help. We cannot waste Leaf lives for your village. And you, girl, will not even return to see your beloved village for the last time. You will die here. Danzo roared as he walked away. The 4 Root ANBU unsheathed their tantas and prepared to attack. Golden chains shot out of Kasumi's body as she defended herself. She was able to kill one and disable another but was defeated when she felt her body controlled by another mind. One of the Root ANBU removed his gloves and touched the now paralyzed girl. Kasumi realized that the touch contained lethal tiny bugs that quickly multiplied on her body. Within a minute the Uzumaki Chunin was dead. Naruto blinked his eyes as the scene disappeared and the place returned to normal. There wasn't anybody with him. What? The boy was lost in his thoughts as he tried to understand why he just saw Kasumi's death, and what were that old man Danzo was talking about. His thoughts eventually brought him back to Uzushio-gakure. He remembered he was supposed to go there. Clearing his mind for the moment, he walked towards the shadows. Before he could pour it out, Kurama stopped him. Naruto-kun, wait. Mother, what is it? The Sandaime will assume you've been staying inside the Lolliats. Go back to the Namikaze mansion first, and we'll create a clone so it could stay here while you're away. Just in case the monkey decides to check on you. Alright. Namikaze estate. The clone we will be creating is special. It will be able to cast jutsus and replenish its chakra. Also, my consciousness will be present to it as well. It will not be dispelled unless it runs out of chakra, which is impossible, or when you will it to. It was a good thing the estate was placed with a lot of seals. If it weren't, the people outside would have sensed the Kyuubi's chakra. The process took about 5 minutes. Kurama poured 50% of her chakra to the clone. Why does it look tired? Asked Naruto as he observed the clone. It still has to recover your human chakra. The clone only has mine as of this moment. Don't worry about it now, it's time for you to go to your home village. Uzushio-gakure ruins. Uzushio-gakure became famous due to its structure. The whirlpools that surrounded the island served as its natural defenses and kept the village safe from Navy invasions. However, the whirlpools that used to swirl were no longer there. The water surrounding the island was calm. Behind the half-ruined gate's shadows, a blond boy wielding a black sword appeared and walked out of the shadows. Naruto looked inside the gates towards the village. He was expecting to meet the souls of his deceased kin. Instead, he saw a fully intact village, with children running around. The civilians were peacefully doing their business while the shinobi watched in their stations. This confused the boy as he entered past the gates. Naruto noticed that their language was different. He later realized that they were talking in their native Uzumaki language. He was glad he met Kasumi. He unconsciously walked towards a certain building. It was the tallest and the biggest among other buildings and can be easily noticed. On the roof were 2 red banners with the whirlpool insignia emblazoned in gold. Naruto recognized it as the Uzukage's building. He entered the building and headed straight to what he thought was the Uzukage's office. When he came in, he saw an old man with streaks of red hair adorning his white hair. He looked up as the door of the office opened and a familiar-looking girl entered. Uzukage-sama, greeted the girl. Ah, Kasumi. You've finally come, said the Uzukage. I have a mission for you. Since you are one of the few here who can speak the universal language, I am assigning you to go to Konohagakure to request for help. What help, Uzukage-sama? We have received intelligence about a possible invasion. From what country? How is that possible? We've been living in peace and haven't done anything to make the other nations angry. I know that, Kasumi. But they're scared of us. Who? Why? Kumo, Kyuubi, and Iwa are scared of us. Our village may be small compared to others, but our strength in battle can equally match 2 whole armies of a great shinobi nation. So they want to destroy us? Yes. I need you to leave in an hour and deliver this scroll to the Sandaime Hokage. We do not know when exactly the attack will happen. We'll make an estimate of 3 days. Now go! The scene shifted into another. Naruto guessed 3 days have passed. He could hear bells ringing all over the village. He went outside the Yuzukage building and checked the village. Hushed screams could be heard from parents and panicked screams from children. The genin were ushering them to the safe bunkers while the chunin were running around gathering supplies. Some higher-ranking chunin were preparing their own genin squads. The ANBU and the jounin were already forming columns to intercept the incoming enemy army. Naruto could see in the shores huge ships that had the Kumo and Kyuubi flags on it. However, there were 3 armies. Kumo, Iwa, and Kyuubi have allied to destroy the Uzumaki. What happened to Kasumi? Naruto wondered. He stopped in his tracks as he remembered the scene he watched just before he traveled to the island. He was interrupted from his thoughts when he heard children screaming. Naruto watched helplessly as a Kumonin mercilessly butchered the children. He wondered how the army got in quickly. He looked to the gates and found it already broken. Dead bodies of both attackers and defenders littered the streets. He now realized that the scene had skipped. Naruto closed his eyes and opened them when he finally heard an eerie silence. He looked around and found the now destroyed village. He looked at the shore and found the invading army's ships gone. The battle was over. Naruto ran around the village to look for survivors. After a few minutes, the scene shifted back to normal. You won't find survivors. There are none. A voice spoke. Naruto turned and finally saw his now dead clan. 1,000 souls surrounded him. He recognized the soul of the Yuzukage, who was a few steps in front of the others. Beside him were 5 other people who he recognized as the past Yuzukages. Among them was the first Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, Uzumaki Mido, who walked towards him and spoke. Naruto, the last and heir to our clan. You have finally come. We've been waiting for you. 1 week later, Yuzushiogakyure. Naruto was immediately taken into apprenticeship by the past Yuzukages. For the past week, he was taught with the introduction and basics to Fuinjutsu. He will be staying there for more than 2 years, while the clone remained in Konoha. Aside from sealing, he will be trained to properly use his chakra chains. Mito was also training him use Kurama's chakra properly. While he cannot fuse with the tailed beast yet until he reaches the age of 13, there were other things Naruto can do with the Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto heaved a sigh of relief as he finished training for today. Naruto, it's time for you to synchronize with your clone in Konoha. What? Everything you've learned and experienced here the clone will also know, and vice versa. Alright. What do I do? Just sit on a meditative stance. I'll contact my other half and we'll do the rest. 10 minutes later. I see. The Sandaime hasn't gone looking for me yet. He will soon, said Mito. Kurama, can you contact the clone again and tell him? Kanehigakure. I see. Naruto muttered as he lazily walked the streets. Receiving the original's orders, he went to the Hokage's mansion. When he arrived at the building, he was immediately ushered to the office. Turns out the Sandaime was watching him on his crystal ball. No, not watching. He's spying on me, thought Naruto as he entered the office. Naruto, my boy. How are you? What brings you here? Asked Hiruzen. He was surprised with the boy's sudden visit. Perhaps he hasn't changed and just needed time after the incident. Hokage-sama, greeted Naruto. Or not. He's really changed. I would like to make a request, continued the boy. What is it? I would like to live in an apartment. The place I'm staying at is not giving me a pleasant stay. It brings me bad memories. The Hokage nodded sadly. Very well, Naruto-kun. There is a place just for you. Please come with me. Followed by the hidden ANBU, the Hokage led Naruto to an apartment. It looked to be empty. Of course. I'll be living alone in this whole apartment. He doesn't want the demon brat living with the humans, thought Naruto with disdain. Here's the key to your room, Naruto-kun. Room 401. I'll be back in my office. Just come visit me if you need something. Will do, Hokage-sama. Thank you, said Naruto as he bowed and went upstairs searching for his room. As he went to find his room, he extended his senses and searched the building for other inhabitants. There were none. Kasumi-chan, I would like you to do something for me, said Naruto aloud. There was a shimmer in the air and the ghost of Kasumi appeared. What is it? Make an investigation about this building. Find its owner if there is any. And the inhabitants before it got abandoned. Will do. I'll be back in the evening. Thank you. I'll be at my parents' house, said Naruto as he walked towards a shadowed corner and traveled. Later evening, at the Namikaze estate. Naruto was meditating when he felt Kasumi's presence. Good evening, Kasumi-chan. Good evening, Naruto-kun. The building the Hokage gave you is new. Nobody has lived at it yet. You'll be the first if you decide to stay there. The building was supposed to be bought by a wealthy businessman. The buyer died last week. Got ambushed by bandits on his way back. I see. And what of the owner? He's decided to make it an apartment for rent instead. Although I believe you won't be having neighbors, as news about the demon brat living in that building have already spread. News travels fast, said Naruto, an idea forming to his mind. Indeed. I would like you to bring me to the owner's place. I'll meet you at your apartment room. The owner's house is only 3 blocks away. Naruto nodded and Shadow traveled to his apartment. He hinged himself to a rich businessman and made 2 clones, having them take the appearance of a bodyguard. He nodded and followed the ghost, his clones behind him. When they arrived at the porch, they were greeted by a servant and were led inside. A fat man wearing a lot of jewelry welcomed them as they reached the living room. Welcome, sir. How may I be of service? The fat man said, whom he assumed was the owner. Good evening, Dodo-san. I'm Menmikaze, Naruto said as he shook hands with him. Of course, Menma-san. Business talk, I presume? Straight to the point, huh? Fine. Yes. I believe you were selling an apartment. Ah, yes. But I have put it open for rent and someone already occupies one of the rooms. I'm surprised he said that. I was expecting he'll say it's empty, commented Kasumi. It's no problem. I came here to buy the whole building for him. Why would you do such thing for that thing? That thing, Dodo-san, is a person. It appears that you're just the same like the rest of the villagers. I came here in hopes of making a deal. I was going to offer thrice the price to buy the building, but with that attitude of yours, Naruto said, a glint of anger visible in his eyes. Forgive me, Menma-san. I misspoke. The fat man stuttered as he tried to stop Naruto, who was now at the doorway. Naruto smirked inwardly as he faced the owner again. Very well. I'm buying that building twice the price. Doto's face fell. Naruto and Kasumi of course noticed this. Naruto continued. You don't like my offer? And no. I mean yes. Of course. Twice the price is really good. Good. Come to the apartment tomorrow with the papers. You'll name it to Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Naruto said as he subtly cast a genjutsu. Doto nodded with a huge smile on his face as he shook hands with Naruto, unaware of the genjutsu cast upon him. Naruto's level at genjutsu was only at an adept level, since he just started learning it. But with a little help from Kurama, the genjutsu should last 36 hours on a civilian. Naruto and his clones exited the house and decided to check on the apartment, still with their henges on. When they arrived at the building, Naruto sensed 3 other presents upstairs. He and his clones melded with the shadows and headed to the 4th floor, to where his room was. Sure. The demon is asleep, said a voice. Let's kill it now, said another. Yeah. No one will know, said a third. I'll break in the door. One of you act as lookout. One will guard the window to make sure it doesn't escape, said the first. Hidden in the shadows, Naruto listened to their conversation and watched. His supposed-to-be assassins were carrying knives. Civilians, huh? Naruto thought as he melded and went inside his room. The leader's silhouette was visible by the moonlight coming in by the window. The wannabe assassin sneaked his way to the bedroom. As he raised his knife for a stabbing motion, a chain appeared from the shadows and held the man's wrist. Another chain appeared and served as a gag. Naruto appeared from the shadows and hit the intruder's head, making him drop to the ground unconscious. Outside the room, the leader's accomplices grew impatient and weary. They decided to enter the room as well to check. As they stepped inside, black chains held them as well as their mouths to keep them from shouting. They felt something hit their necks and fell to the floor unconscious moments later. Naruto flicked open the lights and finally saw his room's layout for the first time. It was pretty decent. It had 4 divisions. One was the bedroom, the other the bathroom, the third was the kitchen, and the fourth was the living room. What do you plan to do with them? Kasumi asked as she appeared on top of the 3 unconscious bodies. Nothing for now. When I unlock my eye's 5th power, I'm going to use their souls as exchange for the people I'm going to resurrect. I see. Mother, can you contact my original and ask him for a seal? A preservation seal, perhaps? Something that works for these heathens. Kurama chuckled at the word Naruto used. I'll let the original know. For now, just keep them unconscious. I'll teach you the areas you can hit so they'd go into a state of comatose. Next day, Naruto decided to spend the night on his new apartment. During the night, 3 more people decided to pay him a visit. A pair of civilians broke in around 1 in the morning. The last was a shinobi. A chunin. He arrived at 3. There were now 6 people he has for sacrifice. 6 souls? That's 1 soul I can revive now, thought Naruto as he got up from bed and started the day. I guess living here isn't bad after all. People will come here and try to kill me, while they'll only be used later as sacrifices. How many are you planning to keep? Kasumi asked as she appeared. That depends on how many will try to kill me. I've already decided to use Doto Soul as sacrifice as well. Later, when he gives me the papers and the deed of ownership for this building, I'm keeping him as well. I'll have it look like he's gone off for a vacation and never returned, killed by bandits on the road. The original asked me to ask the Hokage for an apartment so he won't find out that I didn't really stay at the Lolliets. Who knew things will end this way? It's a win-win situation, you know. You get sacrifices while you keep your knowledge of your heritage a secret, said Kasumi. I know. While the original trains to become stronger and is safe from the Hokage, I get voluntary sacrifices here, laughed Naruto as he prepared breakfast. He had a clone henge into a random civilian last night and bought food. Of course, he used genjutsu on the store owners so he wouldn't have to pay. As he was having his breakfast, he sensed 5 chakra signatures. One of them he recognized was the Sandame's. The other 4 were probably his A and BU guard. He finished his meal as the Hokage made his way upstairs to his room. Naruto immediately opened the door when he heard him knock. Hokage-sama, greeted Naruto with a blank face. Good morning, Naruto-kun. May I come in? Asked Hiruzen. Of course, said Naruto as he led the old man to the living room. Would you like some tea? Yes, please, smiled Hiruzen. Naruto nodded and went to the kitchen. The clone he made just finished making tea. He took the pot and poured its contents on a cup and returned to the living room. What can I help you with, Hokage-sama? Naruto asked as he served tea. I came here for 2 reasons. The Hokage decided to get on with what he came for as he realized Naruto doesn't want him there. One is to ask you about this apartment. How is it? Do you like it? Or would you like to transfer? I like it here, Hokage-sama. I'm the only one residing here and I like it. Nobody will bother with the demon brat, Naruto said in a calm tone. The Hokage winced but didn't say anything about it. I see. That's good then. The other reason why I came here is to inform you that the academy will be starting in 4 months. No, interrupted Naruto. What? I said no. I'm not going to the academy to become a shinobi of the leaf. Sarutobi was shocked. He wasn't expecting the boy's response. But why? I thought you said you wanted to become Hokage? Not anymore. Why would I want to protect a village that hates me? Retorted Naruto. Sarutobi was speechless. He felt the coldness radiating from the boy. He felt his hate. The Hokage didn't know what to say. I'm so sorry, Naruto-kun. Are you really? Hiruzen flinched and bowed his head in shame. He could feel the boy's cold stare. I might change my mind. Hiruzen looked at the boy hopefully. If the villagers' views change, the boy finished. I know everything, Hokage-sama. I know about that law you made. But you never enforced it. You should have done more than prevent them from talking about my status. If you're really sorry, then you'll do something about the villagers. Naruto picked up his teacup and went to the kitchen. The Hokage took this as his cue to leave. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. Minato Kushina, Hiruzen murmured as he left. From the kitchen, Naruto heard the old man murmur his apologies. It only made him angrier. Later afternoon. Naruto was meditating when he heard a knock on the door. He created 3 clones and hinged them into Menma and his 2 bodyguards. Then he opened the door. Doto was standing on his doorway with a big smile on his face. He was clutching a brown envelope. "Good afternoon, Doto-san," greeted Menma. "Good afternoon, Menma-sama. Here are the papers. The land and the building is now owned by Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze." "Good," said Naruto. "Here's your payment." The boy cast a new genjutsu. This one was stronger, and will last for a week. "You will sell all your properties and give the money to me," Naruto ordered. "Yes, Menma-sama," Doto replied with a smile. He bowed and then left. "What do you plan to do with the money?" asked Kasumi as Naruto dispelled the clones. "Nothing for now. I just know that I'll need lots of money, not counting in my heritage. Right now I have the Lolliats, then next week I'll have Dotos as well." 2 weeks later. Naruto happily slurped his ramen. He now had Doto's money from selling all his properties. He had made a clone and hinged it into him. He had the clone announce to Doto's household that he was moving to Sunagakure, hence why he sold all his properties. Today the news of Doto's caravan getting ambushed by bandits reached Konohagakure. Since Doto's cancelled his leaf citizenship to migrate to Suna, Naruto wouldn't have to worry about the Hokage making an investigation about the businessman. When the weekly synchronization occurred, Kurama let him know that the original was pleased with his work. The original was also approving of taking his supposed to be assassins captive. During the past 2 weeks, there had been 49 attempts on his life. Now he had 84 souls waiting to be sacrificed. On his 3rd synchronization with the original, he finally learned how to seal away bodies. It was a good thing too, since he had 2 other apartment rooms filled with the bodies of his captured supposed to be killers. Now he had the bodies placed on a storage scroll. He was waiting for the original to learn sealing storage scrolls onto another storage scroll, to save space. 1 year later. Hokage office. "Hokage-sama, after making an investigation, we have finally concluded that Taro's missing." Hiruzen cursed. For the past year, groups, pairs, or individuals were reported missing. As of now, there were a number of 834 people confirmed missing. Taro was the newest. 563 of them were civilians, while the remaining 271 were shinobi, 46 Anbyu, 86 jounin, 116 shunin, and 23 genin. "Add him to the list. Call my secretary as you go out." The jounin bowed and left. Moments later, the Sandame's secretary entered. "You called, Hokage-sama?" "Yes. I'm going out for a while. I'm leaving my clone here." Outside the Hokage mansion. Hiruzen sighed. The mysterious disappearances gave him a lot of things to think of. If it was an opposing nation behind it, then why would they also take civilians? So far there hasn't been a mob rallying about the disappearances, but he knew it would happen soon. The only suspect he has in mind was Orochimaru. The Snake Sannin was the one responsible for the disappearances before the Kyuubi incident. Does he know about Naruto-kun? Whether Orochimaru knows about the boy's heritage or not, the Sandaime worried that the boy might be taken as well. And so he made his decision. Hiruzen began walking towards the direction of Naruto's apartment. Even though the boys expressed his distaste towards becoming a leaf shinobi, the Hokage has to try convincing Naruto to attend the academy, even if he doesn't have to graduate. As long as the Sandaime's sure about the boy's safety. If he attends the academy, he will be under constant watch of the proctors. Hiruzen will be at ease. Naruto's apartment. For the past year, Naruto and the original Naruto in Uzushiogakure have been training and studying constantly. Naruto can now shadow travel on longer distances as well as control his chains better. He was now also better at understanding emotions under Kurama's teachings. His knowledge in Fuinjutsu was starting to grow. He has mastered doing the strokes for sealing and was now working on expanding his arsenal. His power over darkness also grew, making him unlock his dojutsu's 2nd level. For his 7th birthday, Minato taught him the Rasengan. Naruto mastered it 3 months after. His father then insisted he learn the Hiraishin before he left Whirlpool. And so he and the original have started working on it. Naruto was once again meditating on his dark release. He opened his eyes when he sensed a strong chakra signature coming towards his apartment. Every month, the Hokage would visit him and talk with him about random things. Sometimes they went outside to eat. Naruto opened the door when he heard the old man knock. "Hokage-sama." he greeted with his usual blank tone he used when talking to the Hokage. Hiruzen felt another pang in his heart. He was still hoping that Naruto would one day begin calling him old man again. Good afternoon, Naruto-kun. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, Hokage-sama. Please come in and have a seat. I'll prepare some food. The Hokage nodded gratefully and sat on the couch. Naruto returned from the kitchen carrying a tray with 2 steaming cups of ramen and 2 glasses of orange juice. Thank you, the Hokage said as he took a cup. They talked about random things for some time before Hiruzen decided to bring up the topic he came for. Naruto-kun, I would like to ask you again if you'd like to attend the academy. The boy didn't reply but stared at him. It made the Sandaime feel uneasy. You see, even if you don't want to become Hokage, you're going to have to learn about being a shinobi. Having teachers guiding you is better than you self-studying. Why? Naruto inquired. What do you mean, why? Why tell me this now? You already know what my answer would be. There must be a reason, be honest. Tell me what made you ask me again to attend the academy. The Hokage sighed. I'm not sure if you're aware, but you see, a huge number of villagers have gone missing, disappearing without any trace. I'm worried that these mysterious kidnappers might take you too. If you attend the academy, I will be at ease knowing that you're at school from morning until afternoon, lessening the chances of you being taken. Just so you know, I can take care of myself. Setting aside this issue about people disappearing, I'm going to the academy. I have a feeling now that the proctors won't sabotage my growth and progress at learning. Naruto, of course, knew why the proctors at the academy won't sabotage him. 5 months after he began sealing away his supposed-to-be killers, the villagers have begun to notice people vanishing. They suspected it was him behind it. They figured that the demon brat was now fighting back. After that, the assassination attempts' frequency lessened. Naruto just had to say something else to keep the Hokage from suspecting him. What he said was also true. Most of the shinobi he had taken were chunin, and most of them were teaching at the academy. And so he knew that the teachers at the academy this coming school year will be new and not hostile to him. However, I have a condition if I'm attending the academy. What is it? I want to be placed with last year's batch. That way my classmates will be in my age group. Your classmates will surely be jealous, Hiruzen chuckled. Then let's have a demon sealed inside them, Naruto retorted. And no, I didn't mean. Sigh, I'm sorry, I was just saying they'll be jealous you didn't attend grade 1 while they did. I know that. If they're jealous, I'll find a demon for them and seal it in their gut. That way they wouldn't have to be jealous, so, do we have a deal? Yes. You'll be placed with last year's batch. I'm confident you'll be able to catch up easily. Good. We have a deal then. I'll visit you again next week while I have the papers ready. I'll be with you when you enroll. Very well. Thank you, Hokage-sama. Have a great day, Naruto-kun, Hiruzen said as he left. Konohagakure. Evening time, alleyways. I'm sorry. Please let Miju work. Splat. Naruto felt awakened as the smell of blood invaded his nostrils. He just killed a group of thugs. At first, they were only trying to mug him but decided to kill him when they recognized him as the demon brat. There were 5 of them. Using his chains, he held them as he killed them off one by one. Releasing the first, he used his shadow manipulation and snapped his neck. Naruto killed the second by possessing his shadow and bending his body in fatal angles. The third was killed after getting impaled by multiple shadow spikes. The fourth died by having his limbs pulled simultaneously by Naruto's chains. Ignoring the last thug's pleas, Naruto forced the chain inside his victim's mouth and divided it into smaller chains, distributing to the whole body. Applying untamed wind chakra, the cells were cut by tiny wind blades until the body exploded. You're getting good with your chakra chain elemental manipulation, commented Kasumi as she appeared beside Naruto. It's only raw chakra, Naruto replied a bit sadly. I know. But what you did was like the Rasengan. Your attack used only pure raw chakra. Soon you'll be able to add nature manipulation to your chakra chains properly, just like what you're doing with the Rasengan to add your wind element. You're right. Thanks, Kasumi-chan. Let's go home. Which one? My parents' house, of course. 1 week later. Good morning, Naruto-kun. Are you ready? Asked the Hokage as he appeared on Naruto's apartment doorway. You're only enrolling me to the academy. There's nothing to prepare about it. Unless I'm going to take an entrance exam? Naruto deadpanned. Normally you'd have to take it, yes. But since we already know you wish to be with those of your age, you don't have to take an exam to know which level you'll be placed at. And besides, you've had home study. That's right. I have no intention being with kids not around my age, especially those who are older than me. They'll surely know about the demon brat. Hiruzen winced at how Naruto said the term. He could not help but look guiltily at the boy. Naruto of course noticed this and scoffed. Let's just get this over with, said the blonde. The Sandaime nodded and led the 7-year-old to the academy to enroll him. As they walked past the streets, some people openly glared at the boy while others looked away in fear of getting abducted by him. The moment Naruto saw the first villager glare at him, he emanated a dark aura. Unlike the normal Ki, his was cold and radiated scenes of death. Those with the weakest resolve, especially civilians, froze in fear as they saw themselves die in various, horrifying ways. Even the Hokage, the strongest in the village, felt cold and had goosebumps as he looked at the boy with worry. Just ignore them, Naruto-kun. They can only glare at you. Like hell I will. I'm not the weak boy you used to know, Hokage-sama. If they glare at me, I'll return it 10 times worse with killing intent. Should they harm me physically, I'll defend myself. I'm telling you this now, Hokage-sama, I will not hesitate to kill those who will attack me. I've been reading laws and I know that people are allowed to kill in self-defense. The Hokage stopped walking, shocked at the boy's response. Would he really kill someone at his young age? Naruto noticed this but kept walking. They were near the academy now. What happened to him after that night? Has Mai been seeing him in secret? Is she teaching him? Thought Sarutobi as he stared at the boy. He continued walking and went after the blonde. It's not impossible, he's only 7 yet he already knows how to properly leak Ki. I would know if he's in contact with the Kyuubi, his Ki would have leaked a malicious intent instead of cold death. We're here, Hokage-sama? Naruto interrupted him from his thoughts. Ah. Right. Follow me to the office, Naruto-kun. As he followed the Sandaime to the main office, Naruto noticed the proctors were looking at him neutrally except one. The man's silvery white hair was enough for the boy to remember him. That proctor was the only one with the kind of hair color, as Naruto noticed. He will have to deal with that Chunin before he started the academy. They stopped walking and stopped at what Naruto assumed was the main office. After filling up some forms, the Hokage led the boy to another room. Hello, Irika-kun, greeted the Sandaime as they entered. Irika was startled and hastily stood up, bowing. Good morning, Hokage-sama. How may I help you? Oh. I'm just introducing you to a new student who will be with the last year's batch, replied Hiruzen as he motioned to Naruto. Irika frowned a bit as he recognized the boy. This of course didn't go unnoticed by his guests. Naruto stared at Irika and returned the glare, adding some of his dark aura, making the instructor feel uncomfortable. Yahem. This is Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto, this is Irika Umino. He will be your class advisor, interrupted Hiruzen. The boy stopped glaring and muttered, Nice to meet you, Irika-sensei. Nice to meet you too, Naruto. I hope I'll be a good teacher for you, the Chunin replied awkwardly. The Hokage noticed this and dismissed Naruto. The boy shrugged and stared at a corner in the room before leaving. Hiruzen and Irika wondered what the boy was staring at. Sensing the boy was away from the room, the Hokage began his talk with Irika. Namake's home. So what did they talk about? Naruto asked aloud. Moments later, there was a shimmer as the ghost of Kasumi appeared. The Hokage just explained to Irika that you're not the Kyuubi but just its container. He also told him that you're an orphan like him. After some convincing, the Chunin finally agreed that you're innocent. Naruto laughed aloud while Kurama, who was also listening, snorted. Innocent, huh? Innocent my ass. I'm a 7-year-old and I've killed and abducted people. Yes, I'm innocent, Naruto sighed. Anyway, I would like you to go to the academy and tail that white-haired proctor to wherever the hell he lives. The ghost nodded and left to do Naruto's bidding. 3 months later. Hokage's office. Is it true? Asked the Sandaime. A raven-masked Anbu was kneeling in front of him. Yes, Hokage-sama. My clan is feeling more and more secluded from the village due to the treatment the villagers are giving them. Some members of the police force have already considered resigning as they no longer wish to protect the village that blames them for the Kyuubi attack. I see. Inform Fugaka that I'll be meeting with him. I'll be visiting the compound after my work. We'll work things out and I'll try my best to stop things before it escalates. Yes, Hokage-sama. Naruto's apartment. Ah, today's the day, muttered Naruto as he got out of bed. You sound excited, remarked Kurama. I am. I'll be looking for someone I can manipulate from my class. I see. You better get going then. Naruto nodded and prepared for school. Today will be his first day at the academy. He was looking forward to meet his classmates. Not that he really cared about them, but he was looking for a possible ally or asset that he could use in case he decided to leave or destroy the village. Or both. Naruto had to be careful now. Kasumi informed him that the Hokages finally suspected him, after the numerous and obvious proof that he was connected somehow with the mysterious kidnappings. Word about the demon brat enrolling to the academy immediately spread that day. With that news, the assassination attempts on him stopped. The people who hated Naruto shifted on planning to sabotage his learning. While the Hokage was correct on having suspicions on him, Naruto knew Hiruzen was too guilty of the way he lived, hated by the whole village. And so, the old man could not just bring himself to confront the boy about the kidnappings. Like many ghosts have told him, the Sandaime was too soft and no longer had the backbone for such confrontations. Back during the war, he was someone people could depend on. Now, he was letting himself get stepped on and bullied by his fellow teammates, as well as other council members. Some time later. Konoha Academy, Iruka's class. Alright, class. Before we begin, I would like to introduce to you your new classmate. The students who were chatting with each other went silent as they watched the newcomer enter the room. This is Naruto, Iruka said as he presented the boy to the class. The students stared at the blonde. Sensei, is he a transferee? Asked by someone. No. He was born and grew up here. Then why didn't attend first year? Demanded a boy who had a puppy on his head. Naruto has a special condition, and so he couldn't join you on the first year. He was homeschooled. Iruka replied, feeling a bit uncomfortable. Was he sick? Asked another one. Iruka was about to respond when Naruto interrupted him and answered the question. No, I wasn't sick. To answer your question, I had to hide for almost 2 years from assassins. There were people who wanted me dead. It was only 3 months ago the assassinations finally stopped. Everyone stared at him in shock. Even Iruka was speechless. He didn't know about the assassinations. Hokage-sama didn't tell me of this. I guess he wanted Naruto to be the one to tell us. I didn't expect he allowed Naruto to inform the whole class as well. Oh well, if that's what the Sandaime wanted, then I shall not question him. Iruka cleared his throat to call the attention of everyone. Right. Anyway, Naruto, before you find yourself a seat, will you tell us your whole name, likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dreams for the future? Naruto stared at the Chunin blankly for a while, making him feel more uncomfortable. Seeing his teacher sweat bullets, he stared at the class and finally spoke. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. You'll know what I like when you get to know me. I dislike a lot of things, my hobbies, you'll also find out eventually, and as for my dream, it is to restore my clan. If you're that interested about me, do some research about the Uzumaki clan. In that way, you'll have an idea why assassins were after me, and just so you know, my mother's an Uzumaki while my father wasn't. I can't use his surname as it will double the potential of me dying from assassins. My father was the last of his clan before he died. Naruto decided that he'll tell his classmates this information, as he was sure Iruka will assume that the Hokage have already told him about his family. The Sandaime will only then find out that Naruto already knew about his heritage when it was too late, when the boy's classmates figure it out, and eventually spread it to the village. Deciding he had said enough, he picked the seat that was at the back, allowing him to observe his classmates. 1 month later. As it turned out, nobody was curious enough to do some research about the Uzumaki clan. Naruto assumed that maybe because he was still a nobody to the class. He didn't mind though, things are going to change after the first semester. After observing his classmates for a month, only 2 from his class piqued Naruto's interest. The first one was the class genius, Niji Hyuga, a member of the Hyuga branch family that rivaled the heiress when it came to talent. It wasn't the boy being a genius that caught Naruto's attention, however. It was the hatred and coldness radiating from him. The second one that caught his interest was the class clown, Sasuke Uchiha. Unlike the rest of his clan, Sasuke was loud enough to always draw attention to himself. He always shouted that he will be the first Uchiha and the best Hokage Konoha ever had. He also had the habit of pranking the villagers and getting into trouble. While Sasuke was a troublemaker, he was tied with Niji for the top student in ranking. 5 months later. It was now the second term. Some of his classmates were beginning to become interested about him. Naruto was now the top of the class while Niji and Sasuke tied for second. After keeping a close eye to his two classmates, Naruto learned more about them. Now he knew the reason why Niji was hateful and cold towards everyone and especially to his cousin Hinata. Naruto personally talked with the ghost of Hisashi after seeing him occasionally inside the classroom, hovering or standing near his son. Niji simply blamed Hinata for his father's death. Aside that, he hated the main house for using the caged bird seal to enslave the branch members. As for Sasuke being different from the rest of his clan, the boy simply wanted the villagers' acknowledgement. Sasuke noticed how the villagers were cold towards his clan, but didn't know why. He was only aware that most of his kin acted arrogant and mighty. Sasuke wanted the villagers' view to their clan change. And so if he became Hokage, he thought the village will learn to accept his clan. Poor Sasuke. So naive and innocent. Naruto thought as he stared at the boy. Naruto was aware of the village's treatment towards Boy's clan. He was also aware of the incoming revolt. He's heard from some of the ghosts whispering about the Uchiha planning a coup and the Hokage trying to defuse the situation. 5 months later. Hokage office. It will happen tomorrow night. They've finally decided, said the Raven Anbu. I see. Peace talks is out of the option then. Are you sure you want to carry out Plan B yourself? Asked Hiruzen. I've made my decision, Hokage-sama. My loyalty is with the village, not to my clan. If I sided with them, Konoha will be in a civil war, eventually becoming weak and giving the opposing villages an opportunity to completely destroy the leaf. I cannot allow that to happen. I wish for peace, even if that peace requires me to annihilate my clan. You know what happens next. I do, Hokage-sama. My only request once I'm declared missing Nin is for you to take care of my brother Sasuke. I love him too much. I cannot bring myself to kill him. That is all, Hokage-sama. I want him spared. Very well. Here is your mission scroll to make it official. You'll do it tonight. Rest assured Sasuke will be taken care of. Itachi nodded as he took the scroll, then left the office to prepare for his last mission as a Konoha shinobi. Namikaze's home. Afternoon time. Naruto was currently relaxing after training. He unlocked his dojutsu's 3rd level only a week ago. Now he can command souls to do tasks that require physical contact. He was just thinking of ordering ghosts to possess people when the ghost of Kasumi appeared before him. I bring news from the Hokage's office. Itachi Uchiha has been ordered to annihilate his clan tonight. The only survivor will be his little brother, Sasuke. After she said it, a new ghost appeared. The ghost was wearing a traditional yukata with the Senju symbol on the back. It will happen tonight. The 3rd clan massacre is going to happen tonight. Konoha has finally decided its 3rd victim will be the Uchiha clan. And the massacre's going to be done by another Uchiha no less, shouted the ghost. Naturally, this got Naruto, Kasumi, and Kurama intrigued. Explain, ordered Naruto. The 1st clan massacre happened after the 2nd war, when Kumo, Iwa, and Kiri attacked Uzushigakure and killed everyone. Konoha was to blame for this happening, as you already know that they didn't send help. The 2nd clan massacre happened months after the Uzumaki clan's demise. The Senju clan became angry with the current leaders for allowing it to happen. After all, the Senju had very close ties with the Uzumaki since Hashirama was married to Mito. Eventually, the higher-ups ordered the Senju clan to be massacred. The 3rd, as you're already aware, is going to happen tonight. The Uchiha clan will be the 3rd to fall victim to Konoha. Naruto was silent as he took in the information. He could not believe it. Konoha's higher-ups ordered for the annihilation of the 3 clans. If you want more detailed information, there are the scrolls regarding this hidden inside the Hokage's vault. Very well. The official report will be written tomorrow or the next day. In 3 days, I want you to possess the Hokage's secretary. Bring these scrolls to me. Leave the copies. I want the original scrolls. As you wish, Naruto-sama, replied the ghost. Before you go, tell me, who is the person tasked to do this? Itachi Uchiha, one of Konoha's elite Anbu. He wears the Raven mask. However, he won't be wearing his Anbu mask on this mission. Naruto nodded as the Senju left. If Itachi's going to massacre his clan tonight, I've got to do something. Besides, it was an Uchiha that caused my parents' deaths. What do you plan to do? Asked Kasumi. Naruto simply gave her an evil smirk. You'll see. I want you beside me when the massacre happens. The boy walked to the training area and closed his eyes before calling aloud. Heed my call, souls of the departed, for I require your services. A few moments later there were shimmers around Naruto as 100 ghosts appeared. One of them, who was wearing an ANBU uniform, bowed and asked, "What would you like us do, Naruto-sama?" "The Uchiha clan will be massacred tonight. I want you all to scatter around their compound. You will be relaying messages and act as sentries. Warn me if other people aside the Uchiha are at the area." "We will do as you command, Naruto-sama," replied the ghost before they shimmered out of sight. Naruto sat down and meditated. "Mother, I'd like you to contact the original. I'll be needing Kagutsuchi's help. Inform them of what's going to happen tonight." Later, nighttime. Uchiha compound. Literally blending in with the shadows, Naruto hid at the centermost part of the compound, which also happened to where the tallest building was. This allowed him to easily see what's going to happen. He still had no idea how this Itachi Uchiha looked like. He was wielding Kagutsuchi using both hands, as she was on her death scythe form. Naruto will be following Itachi's trail and collect the souls of his victims. This was to prevent the Uchihas from coming back to life in case someone uses a jutsu that can revive the dead. Only him, the son of the Shinigami, and the Shinigami herself were the only ones who can summon souls that won't receive divine punishment, as there were laws. As the hour struck exactly 9, two figures appeared. One was wearing the traditional Uchiha robes while the other was wearing complete ANBU uniform. Naruto assumed the latter was Itachi. The two began to talk. "Naruto," growled Kurama. "That's him." "Who?" "That bastard's the reason why you have no parents." Naruto squinted as he stared at the man. "Damn it," he cursed as he recognized Obito. "I'm not yet strong enough to kill him even with you and Kagutsuchi's help. What do I do?" "Naruto-sama, I have a suggestion," said Kagutsuchi. "What is it?" "Since you cannot engage him yet, you can at least place a ghost tracking seal on him for now. When you're strong enough to easily crush him, you'll be able to find him fast." "A great idea. Thanks, Kagutsuchi," replied Naruto as a plan immediately formed on his head. "Kasumi," whispered Naruto, "I want you to follow that man wearing robes. Possess one of his victims and place a tracking seal on him discreetly." Just as Naruto gave his orders, the two Uchiha jumped off opposite directions. Kasumi followed Obito, while Naruto followed Itachi. Jumping into action, Naruto silently prayed to his mother to keep the Uchihas from dying and put them into a state of comatose instead. In that way he will be able to collect their souls later, as there were now two Uchiha assassins instead of one. He would be only able to collect the souls of Itachi's victims then. But with the Shinigami keeping the victims from dying, it will allow Naruto to collect their souls later. Disappearing and reappearing within the shadows, Naruto reaped Itachi's victims with Kagutsuchi, effectively binding their souls to his weapon. The silent slaughter continued for almost 30 minutes before a ghost appeared before him. It was the ghost of an Uchiha. "Excuse me, Naruto-sama. I am Shursui. I came here to inform you that Danzo and 30 Root Anbu are headed towards the compound. Danzo intends to harvest all Sharingan eyes and use it for himself." Naruto nodded and noticed the ghost's eyes. They were closed and bleeding. "What happened to your eyes?" "Danzo took them." "I see. What would you like me do?" "You may keep them or destroy them." "Very well. As much as I hate the Uchiha, stealing bloodlines is just unethical. I cannot allow that bastard take what isn't his. I'll be destroying the Uchiha eyes and recover yours." "Thank you, Naruto-sama. It will take a whole day for a non-Uchiha's body to adapt with a transplanted Sharingan. Since he took both mine and were not ordinary Sharingan, it will take Danzo a full week before he could properly use the Manjikyu," Shursui said as he disappeared. "Hear me and obey," Naruto murmured in a different language. It was the language of Yomi. "Beowulf." 31 creatures rose from the shadows. They looked like werewolves but were more muscular and had white spikes poking out from their bodies. The creatures were as dark as night and were only visible due to their glowing eyes. They all looked at Naruto with rapt attention. "Find the Root Anbu. They wear blank masks. Destroy them. Devour them. I want no evidence of their existence." The biggest one, the Alpha Beowulf, howled in a way only its kind could hear it. The other 30 howled in response and followed after their leader as it melded with the shadows to hunt for their prey. "Beringil. Ursa Major. Nevermore." A gorilla-like creature rose and with him were two bear-like creatures. Like the Beowulfs, they were pitch black. Their armors were white and had red markings on it. Their eyes were also hollow and glowed red. Lastly, a huge demonic crow screeched as it appeared on a roof. The 4 creatures stared at Naruto as they awaited orders. You 4 will attack the man named Danzo. He has bandages on his whole upper body. Beat the man to death but keep him alive. Nevermore, make sure you pluck out his eyes and return them to me undamaged. The 4 creatures went off to do their task while Naruto went back to delivering the final blows to the fallen Uchiha, and harvesting their souls with Kagutsuchi. Uchiha compound backside. Perfect. The slaughter has begun. Root! Take the eyes from the corpses and bring them to me. All of them. The Root nodded in response as they went inside the compound, oblivious of the creatures waiting for them. Danzo greedily smiled as he approached the nearest house. He was about to crouch down and pluck out the fallen Uchiha's eyes when a large black creature appeared beside him and sent him flying towards an alley wall. The old warhawk narrowed his eyes as he looked at the gorilla-like creature. He activated his stolen Sharingan and was surprised when he found no chakra pathways or any chakra at all from his attacker. He blew out a wind jutsu as the creature charged at him. He was surprised when his attack had no effect and had to jump away to avoid getting rammed. What is this? A guardian of the Uchiha clan? Danzo thought as he noticed the creature's eyes. They were glowing red but didn't have the 3 tomos of the Sharingan. Is that a summoning creature with a manjikyu? But why doesn't it have chakra? He was interrupted from his musings when he felt something approach from behind. He jumped away and found another black creature that looked like a bear. He had to jump again to avoid being clawed as another bear appeared. Airborne, he was caught off guard as he was pelted by projectiles that looked like hardened quills. Before he could land, 2 sets of claws caught him and pierced his injured arm. He was able to look up and recognized his new attacker as a giant crow before it dived down and released him, causing him to crash to a roof and down the house. I see. So you creatures are indeed protectors of the Uchiha, Danzo said aloud as he removed the bandages on his right arm and performed hand seals for a strong wind jutsu. He was now convinced the creatures that were attacking him were keeping him from stealing the Sharingan. The Sharingan are mine! He screamed as he unleashed a wind vortex. An hour later. It was over. From a distance, Naruto was watching Itachi, who was watching his little brother, who have just entered the compound. Obito have already fled the place and had no idea about the ghost tracking seal placed on him. Naruto had Shursui's eyes sealed on a special storage scroll. The Root and Bee were devoured by the pack of Beowulfs. Danzo was unable to escape after sustaining heavy injuries. He was able to defeat the Berinjal and 2 Ursa Major's creatures using Mokutan, but at the cost of his arms. The right arm that contained Hashirama's cells perished as he was unable to control its powers. His other arm, on the other hand, had been torn off by the demon bear. The eyes he stole had been taken by Nevermore. Armless and blind, he had no choice but to flee. But was unable to when the Alpha Beowulf found him. He was beaten close to death's doors. Kasumi. Follow Itachi and see what he'll do to his brother. I'll see you later at my parents' house. Naruto ordered the ghost as he shadow traveled to the Namikaze's house. Later. Namikaze's home. Naruto sat comfortably as he stared at the eyes at the jar. Kasumi have returned a while ago and informed Naruto about the torture Itachi gave to Sasuke. Shursui just finished explaining what the Manjikyu was all about and his eye's own unique ability, the Kodo Amatsukami. The Uchiha clan are now at my disposal, said Naruto as he held the Kagutsuchi scythe fondly. The one that killed my parents will be dealt when the time comes. The last one in Konoha, Uchiha Sasuke, he will be my loyal puppet. Time skip. It has been 2 weeks now since the Uchiha massacre. Word have already traveled and gotten even to the farthest and isolated villages. Nobody knew why Itachi did it. The official story released by Konoha's higher-ups was that Itachi did it only to test his strength, and also because he hated his clan. Kanehigakure Academy. Naruto, as usual, was sitting at the back of the classroom, observing his classmates. It has been a week now since the so-called last Uchiha was released from the hospital. Contrary to what the village believed, Sasuke remained cheerful and was more enthusiastic learning, instead of being grumpy and broody all the time. At least, that's what Naruto thought Sasuke wanted the village to believe. After observing Sasuke for a week, he noticed that the boy was simply wearing a mask. Inside, he was still grieving and was actually angry at everyone who pitied him. Sasuke hated how the village sucked up to him now that his clan was gone. He was smart. He knew they were only flocking to him because of his wealth. With him still being underage, the higher-ups were scrambling to get to the Uchiha fortune by forcing their daughters to him. Sasuke's mask slipped for a moment one time when their classmate Kiba made a comment on how weak and pathetic the Uchiha clan was for being slaughtered by a single person in one night. Aside Naruto, nobody saw Sasuke's eyes morph into a fully matured Sharingan for a moment, and ball his fists in anger. Back to the present time, Naruto straightened from his seat as the bell rang. He watched his classmates leave the room in groups or pairs until it was empty. Sasuke was obviously heading straight home and wasn't interested mingling with their peers. With the day being a Friday, meaning there would be no classes on the next day, Naruto melded with the shadows of the classroom to enact his plan. Later that night. Uchiha compound. Sasuke sat in the living room, sipping tea. He'd just come out of the bathroom after training himself to exhaustion. There was a knock on the door as he set down his cup. With caution, he walked towards the door. He had no clue who it might be, as the whole compound was rigged with traps. The compound's defensive seals were active and allowed no one without Uchiha blood to get in. Sasuke activated that seal specifically after the Danzo incident. He was surprised when he opened the door and stood face to face with the top 1 student in his class. Naruto was holding a scroll. "Good evening, Sasuke. May I enter?" asked the blonde. Befuddled, he nodded blankly and invited him inside. "Have a seat. Tea?" Naruto nodded in thanks as he accepted a cup. "How are you doing?" began Naruto. "Fine. You?" "Honestly, I'm angry towards the village." "What do you mean? Why?" "Sasuke, before I begin explaining, I'd like to ask you a favor." "Alright, as long as I can do it, then yeah, I'll agree." "What is it?" asked Sasuke cheerfully. "It's simple, really. When it's only the two of us, I want you to drop the mask," said Naruto as he put down his cup and stared at Sasuke, who frowned. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Listen, I know you hate the village. I've witnessed how they seemed to kiss up to you after the incident. Back when your clan still lived, the whole village ignored you. They hated you for your pranks. They hated you for proclaiming that you want to become Hokage. You hate them. You hate Kiba for insulting your family. You hate Itachi for killing your family. We're not so different. After all, we're both the last survivors of our clan." Naruto then laid the scroll on the table and unsealed it. 5 folders appeared. He picked the one on top and handed it to Sasuke. "What's this?" "Open it. Find out." Still confused, Sasuke opened the folder and began to read. Name: Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Status: Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Grade 2 Academy student. Parents: Minato Namikaze, Konoha's Yellow Flash, Yondaime Hokage, deceased. Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze, Whirlpool Princess, former Kyuubi Jinchuriki, deceased. Godparents: Mikoto Uchiha and Jiraiya of the Sannin. Assigned guardians: Mikoto and Fugaku Uchiha, deceased. Age 8. Height: 3 feet 7 inches. Eye color: light blue. Hair color: blonde. Unique features / description: has 3 whisker marks on each cheek, a birthmark that he got from his mother for being a Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Abilities: Uzumaki Quick Healing? To be found out. Uzumaki Longevity? To be found out. Jinchuriki powers currently dormant. Rating: currently at low genin. Sasuke was silent for a few minutes as he finished reading. He stared at Naruto, and then at the folder. And then at Naruto again. "You back when you introduced yourself in class, you said that your father was also the last of his clan, and that you had to use your mother's surname for your safety because your father was the Yondaime Hokage." Sasuke felt like hitting himself. Of course. He exactly looks like his father. Why didn't I see it before? He stopped when he remembered some of the important details in the folder and decided to ask the blonde. "Naruto, it says here that your mother was a former, and you're the current Kyuubi Jinchuriki. What exactly is a Kyuubi Jinchuriki?" Jinchuriki: it literally means power of human sacrifice. Jinchuriki are humans who have tailed beasts inside them. There is a total of 9 Jinchuriki, as there are 9 tailed beasts. "You have a demon sealed inside you?" Sasuke almost shouted. "Yes." "Oh." Sasuke was again silent for a minute before he spoke again. "It also says here that Kaa-chan was your godmother, but why didn't you live with us? Why didn't my parents adopt you? They were your assigned guardians." "What do you know about the Jinchuriki and the Manjikyu Sharingan?" Naruto asked. I just found out about Jinchuriki now. I do not know anything about the Manjikyu Sharingan, I only know that it's the next stage after the normal Sharingan's 3 Tomo. Itachi had it. I didn't know the two were connected. I won't be explaining everything about the Manjikyu to you, since I'm not an Uchiha. You'll be the one to learn about it. What I know is it can control tailed beasts. 8 years ago, on October the 10th, my mother, who was currently the Kyuubi Jinchuriki that time, was giving birth to me. Only a few seconds after I was born, an Uchiha appeared inside the birthing room. This room, mind you, was miles away from Konoha, and was heavily guarded by ANBU. You see, when a female Jinchuriki gives birth, the seal that holds the tailed beast significantly weakens. And so that is why my mother had to be miles away from the village just in case the Kyuubi breaks free. Back to the story. A few seconds after I was born, a masked Uchiha managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded room and slaughter the doctors and nurses. One of the nurses was the Sandame's wife. The Uchiha managed to snatch me from my parents and planted bombs all over my body. I was tossed upwards to die, but my father caught me. While my father was removing the bombs from me and tucking me in a safe house, the Uchiha used the distraction to free the Kyuubi Jinchuriki from my mother. The Uchiha, you see, was unlike the rest, for he had the Manjikyu. He used his eyes and ordered the Kyuubi to attack the village. Thousands have died before the Yandame was able to reseal the Kyuubi inside a new host, me. During the sealing, the Uchiha tried to stop it by ordering the Kyuubi to kill me. My parents got in the way and got impaled by the demon's claw. While they were dying, they managed to subdue the Kyuubi and release it from the Uchiha's control. The Uchiha fled while I became the third Kyuubi Jinchuriki. After that, the Sandane was forced to retake the mantle of current Hokage. Of course, he was also the one responsible letting an S-class secret spill. You see, Jinchuriki's identities were normally kept secret. My mother's status was kept secret. Mine, however, was spilled. The whole village knows about it. As the village recovered, they decided to take their hate on a boy, the one who reminded them about that dreadful night. The whole village decided that I was the Kyuubi incarnate, while I'm only its container. You wondered why your mother never adopted me. Although she was my godmother, she had no choice but to avoid me, you see. The whole village found out about the Uchiha's capability to control a tailed beast using the Sharingan. The whole village, being the idiots, suspected your clan. Your father was clan head. If your parents adopted me, then the whole village will know. They will even more suspect that your clan was behind the attack 8 years ago. The one responsible for this mess was a rogue Uchiha. He or she never lived in Konoha. The village, however, wouldn't believe this and insisted that your clan wanted to destroy the village. You know about your clan and the Senju's history, right? And you also know about Madara and Hashirama? Sasuke nodded dumbly as he processed this newfound information. Naruto refilled his cup and drank while he waited for Sasuke. After a few minutes, Naruto picked up another folder and handed it to the Uchiha. This one's from me. The information there are the ones I have about them so far. I'm still working on getting more. There were only 4 pages. Each page had a name of a person and a picture and a short description. Sasuke read. Hiruzen Sarutobi Danzo Shimura Koharu Yudatain Hamiara Midokado. These 4 old fossils are the reason why we're the last of our clans, said Naruto as he picked up the 3 remaining folders. What I'm about to give you is very confidential. These 3 folders contain the copies from Konoha's vault of SS-ranked classified secrets and missions. Only those 4 old fuckers know of this. I'm giving these copies to you as I already have mine. Make sure you hide it well when you're not reading it. I'd suggest using a blood scroll. Sasuke nodded and accepted the folders with shaking hands. He gulped as he opened them and made a quick scan of its contents. The first clan massacre, the Uzumaki clan, the second clan massacre, the Senju clan, the third clan massacre, the Uchiha clan. Sasuke's throat dried as he read aloud. What the hell? He gasped as he gaped at Naruto and then at the folders. Naruto remained silent and had an impassive look while he waited for the Uchiha to read the folders. The Uzumaki clan massacre. Description: under attack by the Kumo Iwakiri alliance, the Uzukage sent an envoy to Konoha to ask for reinforcements. Kanahigakure was a long-standing ally of Yuzushiogakure. The envoy sent by Whirlpool was assassinated by Konoha's root ANBU led by Danzo Shimura, while the ANBU Black Ops were held back by Koharu Yudatain and Hamiura Midokado to prevent them from assisting Yuzushiogakure. Ordered and signed by Danzo Shimura, Koharu Yudatain, Hamiura Midokado, and Hiruzen Sarutobi. Mission executed by ANBU Black Ops, by not going to Whirlpool to assist, and Root ANBU, for killing the Uzumaki emissary. Mission reward: a young Kushina Uzumaki, Whirlpool princess, seeking refuge in Konoha. The Leaf gained a Jinchuriki they can control as well as the fallen villages, Whirlpool's, various treasures. The Senju Clan Massacre. Description: a few weeks after the Uzumaki massacre, the Senju clan displayed their dismay and disappointment to Konoha's higher-ups for not assisting their ally, Uzushio. A few months later, the Senju clan eventually found out why Konoha didn't assist Uzushio. The Leaf had the Whirlpool Princess under their control. The Senju clan planned to keep the Uzumaki princess from being controlled but were massacred 4 months after the Uzumaki clan's demise. The ANBU Black Ops along with the Root ANBU were ordered to annihilate the Senju but kept Tsunade, the princess, alive. The official reason used by the higher-ups were, the Senju clan was planning to overthrow the leadership and lead the village into a civil war. Ordered and signed by Danzo Shimura, Koharu Yudatane, Hamiura Midokado, and Hiruzen Sarutobi. Mission executed by ANBU Black Ops and Root ANBU. Mission reward: Tsunade Senju, Senju Princess, and the Senju clan's riches. The Uchiha Clan Massacre. Description: 8 years after being isolated from the whole village due to the Kyuubi incident, the Uchiha clan head, Fugaku, orchestrated a coup d'etat. The planned revolt was revealed by Konoha's spy, Uchiha Itachi, an Uchiha who hates his own clan and sees them as arrogant and violent people. In order to avoid Konoha's downfall, the Uchiha clan had to be crushed, with Sasuke being the only survivor. Ordered and signed by Hiruzen Sarutobi, Danzo Shimura, Koharu Yudatane, Hamiura Midokado, and Itachi Uchiha. Signed. Mission executed by Itachi Uchiha, to join the organization Akatsuki after and pretend as an S-rank criminal while working undercover. Mission reward: Village Peace. Why? Sasuke asked, his voice cracking due to heavy emotion. Those 4 are corrupted, Sasuke. They've tasted power and do not wish to step down. They think that whatever they're doing is right for the sake of the village. They will destroy anything that crosses their paths, said Naruto as he stood up. I'll be returning tomorrow. Sasuke didn't stand up and simply let Naruto open the door and leave. As the door closed, he finally broke down crying. Naruto's hotel, former apartment. Naruto sat on his customized leather couch. Due to him inheriting the dead merchant's wealth, and many more victims, he now had the resources to refurbish the simple-looking apartment into a high-class hotel. The 6 topmost floors have been converted into a penthouse for him. The building had a total of 21 floors, so that left 15 floors to customers. He took a sip from his juice bottle as he contemplated the events earlier. His plan to make the last Uchiha loyal to him have finally been set in motion. With the documents he provided, Sasuke will eventually come to hate the village even more and finally halt his idea of becoming a Hokage. Naruto have added minor changes to the documents before he gave it to Sasuke. The approval of Hiruzen Sarutobi for the massacre of the Uzumaki and Senju, for one, was fake. The truth was that the old monkey didn't know the truth about the massacre of the 2 clans. He didn't know that the 3 elders ordered for their annihilation until it was too late. But Sasuke doesn't have to know about that, thought Naruto. The Sandaime Hokage was a spineless leader and would allow his former teammates step on him. He gave them free rein and allowed them to gain more power, instead of executing them for high treason, for acting without his consent, and for committing mass murder. At least for the Uchiha massacre his backbone regrew and he ordered for the clan's demise. The other addition Naruto made to the documents was Itachi's views towards his clan. Itachi didn't really hate his clan. He simply loved peace. Participating in the Second Shinobi War made him a pacifist. Itachi didn't want the village fall because of the coup. It will still happen anyway. This goddamn village will fall. But then again, Sasuke doesn't have to know about that. Finishing his drink, he picked up a crystal that was lying on top of his huge table. It was an amethyst as big as a normal scroll. A soul gem mused Naruto as he studied the crystal. It was a prototype that he just finished creating that morning before he went to the academy. Naruto had to ask the original and Uzushio to learn about sealing souls. After the Uchiha massacre, he decided that he needed to learn to put dying people into stasis so that he could harvest them for later when he's needed on 2 places at once. Naruto didn't want to bother his mother like last time. Should a similar event occur, a clone of himself could use the soul gems to harvest souls while the original used Kagetsuchi. The clone or clones could just transfer the collected souls later to the weapon. Right now the soul gem can only contain the souls of civilians. Naruto was still working on making it possible for the crystals to hold souls of people with chakra. He will start with learning how to trap genin souls first before he went on going after Kage-level shinobi. Naruto stood up and pocketed the gem. It had been 2 weeks since the last time he committed murder. It was time for fun. Besides, he needed to test if the soul gem was working. Not bothering to use the stairs, he stepped into the shadows and traveled. Streets of Konoha. In a dark alley 10 blocks away from the hotel, Naruto appeared and was visible for a moment before he melded with the shadows. Nighttime was when thugs and lowlifes lurk the streets and wait for hardworking people to rob. It only took less than a minute before Naruto heard someone's cries for help. He recognized the voice of a girl's. Still hidden in the shadows, he followed the source. Naruto's face morphed into confusion as he saw a girl about his age being manhandled by a man wearing a business suit. Your daddy won't be able to save you now, you little bitch. You're in our territory. Don't worry though, I'll make your death quick. When I present your corpse to the boss head, I'll be recognized as a hero in the family. I will be promoted, said the gangster. Damn. I came here to find a volunteer for my Soul Gem project, not to save someone from these thugs. They could kill themselves for all I care. This sure as hell won't become a habit, thought Naruto in irritation as he sent a thick tendril of shadow and impaled the mobster in the chest. The girl shrieked in surprise and not in fear as blood splattered on her dress. She stepped backwards as her captor fell to the ground gurgling in blood. Naruto calmly walked towards the downed man and pulled out the soul gem from his pocket. He tossed the jewel against the gangster and formed a single hand seal. The 13th hand seal that the Shinigami used. Soul Trap. The alley became illuminated with purple light as the gem glowed and connected to the dying man. A thin line appeared as the mobster's soul moved towards the amethyst stone. The gem pulsed 3 times before the light finally died out. Soul Trap success. Great work, Naruto-kun. Shinigami-sama will be proud, praised Kurama. I've got to work on getting rid of that light, though have to be discreet when trapping people's souls, especially when I need to do it in public, muttered Naruto, ignoring the girl who was gawking at him. The boy picked up the soul gem and noticed the color have turned into a darker shade of purple. Good. At least I would be able to tell an empty soul gem to a full one. No, I croaked the girl Naruto just saved, interrupting him from his thoughts. Thank you for saving my life. Oh, it's no trouble, really. You're strong, said the girl. You defeated him in one move. He's an assassin, did you know that? Him? Really? Yeah. I'm Yujito, by the way. Daddy told me not to talk with strangers and tell them my name. But you saved my life. So it's just right for me to tell you. I'm Yujito Kurama. Kurama? Are you somewhat related to the fox? The girl interpreted Naruto's question in a different manner and giggled. Oh yes. The fox is my daddy. He's the head of the Kurama family. Oh right. She's a civilian. She wouldn't know about the Kyuubi, thought Naruto. Who are you? Asked the girl. I'm Naruto, said the boy, offering his hand. Naruto what? I'm Yujito Kurama. Do you have a surname? I would like to know. Daddy will reward you for saving my life. Come with me. The girl rattled on, taking Naruto's hand, not bothering about his last name anymore. The next day. Uchiha compound. So what do you think? Asked Naruto as he accepted a glass of orange juice from Sasuke. I think that Itachi's a traitor. The village already knows that. Hell, the whole elemental nations knows. No. I mean, he's a traitor to his family. He chose Konoha over the Uchiha clan. He allowed himself to be used by the village as a spy. I would understand if he chose to become neutral. But no, he had to kill everyone. That little act he did to me before he left, it wasn't an act of mercy. It was just for show, so I think he spared me when the truth was he had been ordered to keep me alive. So, what are you going to do? I owe you, Naruto. I owe you for telling me the truth. If you want, I'm offering you my help. You can train in the Uchiha training grounds with me. Nobody else can enter the compound without my permission. I'm guessing that my parents probably keyed you in so you can enter since they're officially your guardians. You can live here with me, since we're technically brothers due to my mother being your godmother. We will train hard. When the time comes, I will help hunt that rogue Uchiha after I kill Itachi. And before you think so, no. I do not hate you. I do not blame you for my clan being ostracized by the village. You and I are both victims. We are the last of our respective clans. What about the village? What are your views to it now? Still want to be Hokage? Not anymore. I hate this village and everyone in it. Konoha deserves to burn. Naruto smiled. Good. Then it's time for you to know who I really am, aside from being the son of the Yondaime Hokage and the Whirlpool heiress. The night before Naruto meets with Sasuke again. Kanehigakure. Daddy will reward you for saving my life. Come with me. The girl rattled on, taking Naruto's hand. Not bothering about his last name anymore. Naruto allowed himself to be dragged away from the alley. Only 2 blocks from the area where he saved Yujito, they were found by men wearing expensive suits. Each of them had a lapel pin of a blue fox on their suits, and were armed with katanas. Yujito-sama, there you are, one of them said. I'm alright. I was found by one of the nameless family's assassins, but Naruto here saved me. Naruto noticed that the men were looking at him with respect. Not for once, they never looked at him with hatred or fear when they found them. We thank you for saving the heiress, the same man said as he bowed, the others doing the same. Naruto wasn't sure how to react, so he just nodded. The leader of the group took out a radio and spoke to it in coded voices. After a while, he nodded at the others and at Naruto. The boss would like to see you. Please, the man said as he indicated at a carriage, at which Naruto just noticed. There were 3. He and Yujito were helped into the middle one. The ride to the Kurama mansion took about 10 minutes. About 3 minutes in the ride, Naruto heard more the clops of horses and looked from the window and found 6 more carriages flanking them. 3 on the front, 3 on the back, and the other 2 earlier were at each side. Naruto, I think you just made a jackpot. Indeed. These people don't seem to know me as the village Jinchuriki. They didn't show any form of recognition when they saw me with the girl. I'm curious about them, a family name with the name of Kurama. And the sigil of a blue fox. So am I. Let's see how this goes. I might gain a good ally with their family. Kurama Mansion. Yujito happily dragged Naruto inside the mansion as they went off the carriage. They were greeted by more people wearing the same suit as the ones who found them earlier. Naruto found himself staring in amazement as they entered the living room. The mansion was huge, but the inside seemed bigger. The tapestries in the walls showed different animals. Behind where Naruto assumed was Yujito's father, the drawings were of tailed beasts. His eyes remained on the Kyuubis. The family had noticed him staring at the drawings and smiled. Beautiful, aren't they? Especially the fox. Naruto focused his attention at the man and smiled. Yes, sir. You may call me Rikudo, ah? Naruto, sir. Right. Naruto-san, you may call me Rikudo. It isn't my actual name, but Rado. They just call me that because of my beautiful daughter here. I am forever grateful to you for saving my only daughter's life. Rikudo's the name of the sage, stated Naruto, who was somewhat confused. Indeed. And my precious Yujito here. You two are deities? Naruto's eyes widened. Rikudo, Yujito, and some of the men in the room chuckled. No, Naruto-san. You see, my daughter here is special. Realization dawned on him. Naruto faced Yujito. You're like me. Everyone in the room went silent. What did you just say? Asked Rikudo. She's like me. A host. Indeed? The man leaned forward, intrigued. Yes, sir. You didn't know? We didn't. But the whole village knows. This is going to be interesting. We'll continue this conversation at the dining table. Please follow me, I'm sure you're hungry. As they ate, Naruto informed them that he was the Jinchuriki of the 9 tails. He then found out Yujito was the Jinchuriki of the 2-tailed cat. You see, we just moved in here 2 weeks ago. We originally were from the hidden hot springs. My daughter was kidnapped by Kyumonin and made her Jinchuriki. We were able to take her back to the village after losing some of my men. After that I raised the security to 10 and also hired ninja. For months, Kyumo would send kidnappers about every 10 days while my men killed them. Eventually it got annoying. So we moved to the hidden waterfall. We stayed there for 2 months. We moved out when we found out how the whole village treated their Jinchuriki. I see. You won't be staying here long then, Naruto said. At their confused expressions he began telling them about his life in Konoha. I'd love to see this village burn to the ground, watch as their clan members die painfully, scream at the top of their lungs and beg for mercy. Mercy that they didn't grant me and my clan. Why are you still here then? Naruto did not respond but only grinned evilly. The guards who were watching and listening into their conversation felt chills creep up their spine. I'm not sure if I'm going to tell you yet. I understand. Rikudo replied seriously. Perhaps I could earn some more of your trust if I told you now that I'd reward you anything you'd like for saving my daughter. That sounds good. Are you sure though, anything? Yes, as long as what you ask is humanely possible. What do you want then? Oh, it's simple. I'd like to make a proposal with your family. Rikudo raised an eyebrow. I'm a powerful shinobi. While I'm still only an academy student, my skills are already on par with the chunin of this godforsaken village. I'm especially great with fuinjutsu, and will become a sealing master in a few years. I'm secretly one of the rich people here. I own a 5-star hotel and will be constructing another one soon. Your family can take headquarters there. If you wish to stay, my hotel's the safest place. You won't have to worry about your daughter getting kidnapped again. I will also be teaching her the shinobi arts. Who knows, I might also teach her more than that. After all, I'm the host of the strongest tailed beast. You have a good offer. What do you want in return? In return, I'd be able to command your men. If there's some business I wish to be taken care of, I'd be able to count on them. Also, the one who's training Yujito will also teach me the way of the sword. And finally, I will have the allegiance of the Kurama family. The head was silent. So Naruto went on. I may be only 8, but I know how adults think. I also know what syndicate organizations do. I have my own share of dirty doings. I'll have no problems telling you about some of them. But of course, you're going to have to agree to my proposal first. Rikudo chuckled. You know, I honestly thought you'll ask for a marriage contract with my daughter. I have no interest with that kind of thing yet. Perhaps when I'm older, I might ask for your beautiful daughter's hand. Naruto smirked as Yujito blushed. Normally, a head of an organization will decline that kind of offer. But since I told you I'd do anything you'd ask as long as it was possible, I will have to honor my word. You offer a good bargain, and I know these kind of things don't present itself every day. Also, it would be very beneficial and would bring more power to our family's name with you as one of its figureheads, with being the host of the Kyuubi, whose name also happened to be Kurama. I accept your proposal. Very well. Naruto nodded as he shook hands with Rikudo. We can formalize everything tomorrow afternoon. Here is the address of the hotel. I'll have the papers and rooms ready. We're already moving in? Asked Yujito. Of course. Now that we're allies, your safety is now our first priority. The sooner you move in the hotel, the better. We never know when your biju might act up and cause you to get discovered. You haven't bonded with it yet. My place has seals that prevents all strong chakra signatures from being felt. You talk as if you don't need protection. Yujito pouted. Naruto smiled at her. You've seen me murder that man earlier. Trust me, I am capable of defending myself. Should I face an opponent stronger than me, I have the means to escape. You'll know more about me tomorrow. I'll be taking my leave. Thank you for having me in your home. Naruto stood up and bowed. No, Naruto-san, it is you that we should thank, Rikudo said as he also stood and bowed. Naruto shook hands with the boss and his daughter before he was escorted outside and to the same carriage he rode earlier. During the ride, he took out his now filled soul gem and smiled. A good night. Well done, Naruto, said Kurama before she went to sleep. The next day, present time. Uchiha compound. I see dead people, said Naruto. Sasuke blinked. In your dreams? Nope. While you're awake? Yep. Sasuke was confused. Dead people like in graves? In coffins? Naruto nodded. How often do you see them? Every time I kill someone, Naruto replied, laughing evilly. Sasuke laughed weakly. He felt uncomfortable. But seriously, Sasuke. I see them. I see souls. I was blessed by death, by the Shinigami. How? It all happened during the resealing of the Kyuubi. My father used the Shiki Fujin, and so Naruto told Sasuke how his mother became the next host for the Shinigami, how she saw Naruto's future, and what power she blessed him. He didn't tell the Uchiha about his dojutsu, no. That will be his secret. Naruto only told Sasuke that he could see souls and command them. That information was enough to frighten the boy. That knowledge shall also make him more loyal to the blonde. Sasuke will be extra wary of betraying Naruto. I believe you. I guess that explains now how you know and access things that are very guarded, said Sasuke, remembering the files the blonde gave him. Exactly, replied Naruto, smiling. So, what do we do now? For now we train. But before we do that, we're going to exterminate a certain thief who's being held prisoner, before he roots his way out. Root Danzo? Yes. Wait, you said exterminate? Yes. We're going to kill someone. Yes, we are. He committed great offense to both our clans. He tried to steal from yours. He needs to die. You shall be the one to kill him. Kill? We're only 8. We're already 8. Naruto corrected. And I made my first kill when I was 7. Naruto then left the compound without sparing a glance at the horrified boy. The next day. Naruto's hotel. It was now afternoon, and the Kurama family have just settled down to the hotel. Rikudo, Yujito, and the rest of the Kurama family were now occupying the rooms below Naruto's penthouse. Naruto was currently reviewing documents and land titles. He just finished convincing the owner of the apartment next to his hotel to sell it to him. The building's demolition was scheduled to begin immediately on the next day. The hotel that will be built next to it will be the official headquarters of the Kurama family once finished. Putting the folders away, he pulled a crate under his table and placed it on the desk. It was a small crossbow. Rikudo presented it to him earlier that morning. The weapon was new and was set to be sold on the market next month. The organized crime's connections with the black market allowed them to acquire thousands of it before its release. The crossbow was small enough to be concealed within the sleeves, since it was mainly built for stealth. Naruto was currently studying it and planned to make it semi-automatic. Instead of having to reload every shot, risking it to be discovered by non-users, he planned to attach a scroll with it that contains the bolts. At every shot, the seal in the scroll will activate and drop a bolt to the crossbow's body, thus allowing a faster reload time while maintaining hidden. After shooting some rounds to test the weapon, he put it back the crate and stood up. It was still early, and so he decided to seal some souls. He had almost forgotten about those people he put in sealing scrolls. Those were the ones who tried to kill him when he moved into his apartment now hotel. They were still alive but were in comatose. It was time for them to die. When he kept those people, he was still weak and didn't have enough mastery of his dark element, and wasn't able to seal souls to Kagutsuchi yet. Now with 2 years of proper training, he can now use the weapon and seal souls to it. He'd already done it last week during the Uchiha massacre. Time to seal those bodies. He could feel it. His grasp with his dark element was getting stronger. Soon, his Kuregan Dark Eye will enter the 4th stage, where he will be able to resurrect people from the dead. Later that night. Uchiha compound. Ready? Asked Naruto. Sasuke nodded and steeled himself, although Naruto could sense his nervousness. Here. Naruto offered Kagutsuchi, in the form of a katana, to Sasuke. It's so cold. Sasuke mumbled as he grasped the sword's hilt. It is. The blonde nodded. This is Kagutsuchi. She's a sentient sword. Normally, anyone who handles her except me dies. Tonight, I'm allowing you to wield her. You'll be the one to deliver the killing blow to Danzo. Alright. So what's the plan? Since he's only accused of thievery, Danzo's located at the prison's 2nd level. He has his own cell separated from the other prisoners. Damn bastard has a VIP treatment, huh? Anyway, his trial is scheduled tomorrow. The ghosts tell me that his root agents plan to break him out at 10 this evening. We'll wait out with the ghosts acting as lookouts. As soon as the agents arrive, I want you to cause a distraction while I free Danzo from his cell. We'll leave the prison soon as the guards spot us with the bastard we're wearing root uniform. Here. After changing into root outfit, Sasuke nodded to Naruto. Well then, grab my arm. We're traveling to the bastard's cell floor. Kanehigakure prison. 2nd level. The two were currently hidden in the shadows. Sasuke was near the stairs while Naruto was in front of the separate cell, watching Danzo who was pretending to be asleep. Here Kasumi's head appeared out of a wall. Naruto sent a shadow tendril to tug at Sasuke, signaling to begin. The Uchiha stepped out of the shadows and spewed 3 fireballs in succession, startling the guards. The other prisoners cried out in panic, calling the attention of more guards. Danzo immediately stopped feigning sleep and stood up. Agent stepped out of the wall opposite his cell and walked towards him, already holding a key. The cell door opened but Danzo found himself unable to move. He was confused for a few moments before he felt chains wrap his body. Since he was still blind, he had no idea what was happening. Valley of the End. Naruto, Sasuke, and Danzo reappeared on top of Madara Uchiha's head. The boys removed their root mask and stared at their eyeless captive. Danzo felt the prison's coldness creep away that was replaced by chilly winds. He tried to feel his surroundings and felt small droplets of water touch his body. Nearby, he could hear the strong sound of water falling down. He tried to concentrate, and got himself a headache instead. He realized he was dangling upside down. "Hello?" Naruto greeted cheerfully. "We'll make the introductions quick. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Lord of Whirlpool. My friend here is Sasuke Uchiha, future clan head. You see, we're both last members of our clan that you ordered to be eliminated. You stole my cousin's eyes and tried to steal more from my clan," said Sasuke, his guilty feeling of having to kill rapidly subsiding as his rage increased. "Right. Now that introductions are over, I will begin tonight's show. Sasuke, Kasumi, Shursui, and everyone else, watch closely." Ghosts shimmered in existence, to Naruto, anyway, and surrounded the three living humans. Naruto took out a pliers from his vest. He walked closer and willed his chains to hold out Danzo's hands. Naruto placed Danzo's left thumb inside the pliers and snapped the nail. Danzo bit his lip due to the sudden pain, causing it to bleed. Naruto pulled the tool away and placed it to the old man's forefinger next. Danzo felt his fingernail get crushed and whimpered. Naruto proceeded with the third finger. Danzo finally cried out. "How dare you! Do you know who I am? I'm Danzo Shimura. My root agents will hunt you down for this." Naruto ignored him and continued doing it to the rest of the man's fingernails. When he was done, Danzo was already panting from shouting. "Torture won't work on me. I won't tell you a damn thing." Naruto laughed in delight as he stared at the man's bloody fingers. Sasuke watched in horrified fascination. "Who said we were torturing you for information? This is just plain torture, Danzo-chan. Some may call it petty revenge on you for being responsible for the annihilation of our clans. But it's still payback." Naruto proceeded to snap Danzo's toenails next, causing him to cry out even more. Sasuke no longer felt sorry for the old man. Sasuke. Wanna try?" Naruto asked as he sealed the pliers away and took out a hammer. "What do I do?" asked the Uchiha as he came forward. "Use the hammer to crush his fingers, hands, and toes. Take your time. Make it slow. We want him to suffer," Naruto replied as he handed the boy the hammer. "Go on. Your parents are watching you. They're here," urged the blonde. Sasuke nodded and began hammering the old man's body parts. Each hit made crunching sounds as bones were fractured, crushed, and splintered. "You're doing great. Your parents are smiling," said Naruto. Sasuke swelled in pride and continued to hammer with renewed vigor. When he finished, Danzo's voice was already hoarse due to the screaming. He couldn't access his chakra to heal himself since it was sealed. Or so he thought. Little did he know, Naruto's unique chakra chains were absorbing his chakra and was preventing his system from releasing more. Combined with the blonde sealing abilities, Danzo found it difficult to escape, as he was still weakened after battling those creatures as well as losing his Mokuton-injected arm. The DNA of the Shodaime gave him a healing boost. But those cells were gone. Tired already? Naruto's voice awakened Danzo, who was now half asleep. Naruto untightened the chains and dropped him to the ground. He produced a sledgehammer from his scroll and swung it down. "Wake up!" Danzo cried out in pain as Naruto smashed his right knee. "You bastard! You think you'll be able to activate your seals? No fucking way. I'm suppressing them. I'm an Uzumaki. I'm a member of the clan you destroyed." Naruto screamed in rage as he shattered the other knee. "Ah!" roared Naruto as he smashed the old man's collarbone. He then resealed the tool and stepped back. "Do it," he whispered to the Uchiha. Sasuke nodded, stepped forward and raised Kagutsuchi. "This is for the Uchiha," he cried as he cleaved Danzo from head to toe. Afterwards, the weapon's red eyes began to glow. Sasuke had to drop it as it became very cold. Naruto took out a new scroll and sealed Danzo's corpse in it, and then picked up Kagutsuchi. Sasuke watched in amazement as the katana morphed into a scythe. Naruto looked like a reaper. "It is done," whispered Sasuke. "One down, 3 to go." Naruto replied and placed a hand on the boy's shoulder, and shadow traveled. Naruto dropped off Sasuke to the Uchiha compound and proceeded to his family home. The following day. Namikaze's home. Naruto was on his father's study room and had prepared a dozen brushes, bottles of ink, and hundreds of scrolls. He was at the center of the room and was wielding Kagutsuchi, who was in her original weapon form. A reinforced clone made from his dark chakra was standing in front of him. Naruto was holding the claymore with the blade tipped down. He raised the weapon and then stabbed the ground. The eyes inscribed on the blade glowed, and moments later, Danzo's soul came pouring out. "How may I serve you, Naruto-sama?" asked the ghost. "I want you to possess this clone and write on the scrolls everything about you. You will write everything you've experienced from childhood up until you died. You will write all your secrets, your plans, and everything about root organization. You will not miss a single detail. I want all information you know." "I will do as you ask, Naruto-sama," Danzo said in a monotone. Naruto nodded as the ghost possessed the clone and began writing. A gate guard ghost phased out from the room's door and kneeled in front of Naruto. "Naruto-sama, a group from Kirigakure have entered the village. One of them has Kage-level reserves." "I see. I'd like to know why." At that moment, a Kiri Jounin ghost appeared. The ghost began telling him of Kiri's bloodline purges and now current civil war. "I see. So this Mei Terumi have come to ask Konoha for aid." "Yes." Naruto grinned. The time has come for him and the original to become one again. Kanehigakure. Konoha was in an uproar. A known bloodline thief have escaped prison. The clan heads had been demanding the Hokage for a meeting. They were, of course, wary of being attacked by Danzo's organization and have their bloodlines stolen. Hiruzen was having more problems though. Due to the incident last night, they weren't able to read a message sent to them by Kiri stating of their arrival. So he was surprised when his ANBU alerted him of their arrival. Hokage's office. "Forgive me for not being able to receive you properly. The village has been in an uproar since last night, and I'm still looking into things," bowed Hiruzen. "I understand, Hokage-sama," nodded Mei. "Now let us get straight to things, if you don't mind. What business do you have with Konoha? I'm sure you've heard of the ongoing problem with Kiri. If not, then you would have heard about it sooner if I haven't told you. You seek Konoha's aid then. I assume you're the leader of the opposition. Would you require supplies, fighters, or both?" "I only require fighters. We have enough supplies." "I see. When do you think the big confrontation will happen?" "In about 8 months. If we get enough people fast, then it will be in 6 months." "I see. That's enough answer then." Mei raised an eyebrow. "You see, Konoha's been having difficulties, aside from the recent Uchiha massacre. Quite a number of my nin have gone missing. It began almost 2 years ago. Last night, our main suspect of these disappearances have escaped prison. Hiruzen decided he'll put the blame on Danzo, and didn't mind if it went public knowledge. It would be the best, actually. After all, it wouldn't do well if the other villages found out that Konoha's own Jinchuriki have been killing people from its own village. Besides, the Sandaime was still feeling guilty towards the young orphan. So he really couldn't find himself to blame him." "I see. So, could I expect reinforcements from the Leaf?" "The answer is a maybe. If we'll be able to produce many new nin, then it won't be a problem. I shall send you a message if we could spare some people over to help. If you don't hear from us in 6 months, then I ask for your pardon." "I understand, Hokage-sama. Both of our village are facing difficult times." "Indeed." Hiruzen nodded sadly. "I shall be going then. We still have to look for more possible help," Mei said as she stood up. As Mei left the room, the Kiri Jounin ghost also left to report about the meeting. Later, at Naruto's hotel. "I see. That's good then. My soul gems should be able to absorb Jounin rank souls by that time, and also discreetly. I still have to work on the light the crystal produces whenever a soul is trapped." "Would you like me to follow Mei and her group, Naruto-sama?" asked the ghost. "That would be best," nodded Naruto. "Mother, what should I do?" "You better ask Mito's ghost. She knows Kirigakure more than I do." "Right. Kagutsuchi. To me." There was a ripple on the ground where a claymore rose. Naruto picked the sword up and channeled his dark chakra, concentrated on shadow traveling. He still needed 3 jumps before he was able to reach Whirlpool. His dark chakra pool still has to grow. Yuzushiogakure Ruins. Welcome back. The original is underground. The seals to block off chakra from being sensed outside have been prepared. Greeted the last Yuzukage. Mito-sama and the other Yuzukages are also there. Later, when the merging was done, Naruto could be found at the office of the Yuzukage. He was talking with all the past leaders of Whirlpool. "Welcome back. How do you feel?" "Stronger. And after some short meditation, I can tell that my chakra increased by 30%. Kurama's also increased by 10%. How is that possible?" The Uzukages only smiled, before Naruto smiled as well and nodded. Of course, Fuinjutsu. Now, young prince, you wish to ask about Kiri? Yes. Wait, prince? Yes, replied Mito. You're the first Uzumaki survivor who returned and stayed here for more than 3 months despite the ruins. There are others who have forgotten about their homeland, while the remaining ones do not know about their heritage. But enough of that. We'll talk about that once you enact your plan on the Uzumaki. For now we discuss battle plans against Kiri. Naruto nodded and straightened himself on his seat. Right. You've taken lessons on the 5 strongest villages. And you know why Kiri has the smallest force of the 5. But the academy didn't tell you. Here's why their graduation is different from the other 5. They pit all their academy graduates against each other to the death until one is left standing or until the given time is completed. That explains it, huh? It's kind of ironic. I was planning of killing everyone I can on both sides. Do tell. I need you first to analyze this seal, said Naruto as he took out a scroll. It's the one that gives full control over his root. It basically prevents them from spilling what they know. The old ghost told me the seals shall remain on their tongues for a whole year after his death, allowing them time to erase everything of his and his root's existence. The Uzukages leaned forward as they glanced at the seal. I must admit myself this is some good seal work. The array is intricate. Give us 5 days to study this. A whole week maximum. Leave 100 clones for us to possess and experiment with this seal. What modifications would you like us to add? Right now, the seal simply prevents them from talking. I want the seal tweaked and linked only to me, making those who have the seal completely subservient to me. Very well. I assume you're applying these to Danzo's root? Correct. I'm sending them to fight to Kiri for me. So once we're done binding root to me, I'll need your help with my soul gems. Right now they can only hold genin level souls and are also too flashy. Before I send root to Kiri, I want the soul gems to be able to trap souls up to low Kage level, and without any light or noise during the sealing process. That shouldn't be a problem. Good. I shall return in a week. Naruto then walked out of the office and went to an open clearing. After creating 100 reinforced clones, he shadow traveled back to his hotel in Konoha. Kanehigakure. Namikaze's home. After dropping some things to his hotel, he went to his parents' home and kneeled on the shrine, praying to his mother. A few moments later the air grew cold, signifying the Shinigami's appearance. What is it, my son? Mother, I would like to ask for your permission to use the Edo Tensei. I shall be using it only once to Danzo. I'll be needing him for the root's transfer of allegiance to me. Also, I would like to speak with Tobirama Senju's ghost. I'll need him to teach me the jutsu. Very well. Just one time. You will have to rely on your Kuregan after this. I understand, mother. Thank you. When his mother left, Naruto stood up and channeled his dark chakra. Speak to me, Tobirama Senju, Nidaime Kage of Konoha. 1 week later. Yuzushiogakure ruins. It is done. You just need to key in your chakra to make the seal responsive only to you, Mito said as she handed over a scroll. Naruto nodded and focused on his 3 chakra for extra protection and pushed it to the seal. There. Now we can make copies and apply it to your servants. Thank you, Uzukages. You're welcome, young one. The Uzukages shall begin working on the soul gems next. I'll be helping you apply the seals to root. Naruto then bowed to the ghosts before taking out a scroll, releasing a Kiri Anbu corpse, and crouched. Edo Tensei. After changing form, the reanimated corpse blinked a few times before he focused on his surroundings. Seal. Danzo then kneeled in front of Naruto, his head bowed submissively. I want you to return to your root base. Recall all of them and apply this seal on their foreheads. After that, order them to merge with the Hokage's Anbu until I give them new orders. Understood. Is there anything else? Yes. Naruto replied and then slapped his now called loyalty seal to Danzo's forehead. It should be his backup just in case Danzo breaks from the initial control seal of the Edo Tensei. After all, only the dead were bound to obey him, not counting the living. Now go. 1 month later. Kanehigakure. Hokage's office. It is official, Hokage-sama. Danzo-sama is dead. We now answer to you. That was his order to us should he die, said a lone root agent. I see. However, I must say I find it hard to believe you're completely answering to me now. frowned Sarutobi. After all, your organization was the one responsible for Danzo's escape. Explain before I had you and the rest of your group executed. There seems to be a misunderstanding, Hokage-sama. The ones who escaped Danzo-sama from prison were not root members. Our group have come to the conclusion that they were framing us. The Hokage wasn't convinced. He glared at the kneeling figure before he puffed more smoke on his pipe. I'm curious then, how were you able to tell and are certain that Danzo is dead? For a moment, the Sandaime and the hidden ANBU in the room stiffened as the root agent raised his head and put out his tongue for the Hokage to see. They relaxed when nothing happened. As you can see, the seal that binds us root members to him are now gone, Hokage-sama. Hiruzen nodded and finally relaxed. He knew about the failsafe Danzo made. His former teammate was very paranoid. Very well. I am now